Hello friends. Welcome to Fictional Vortex. How are you all? So we are back with an interesting series on what if Naruto was born with blue-eyed Gojo's power. Also be sure to subscribe and like this video. Now let's begin. Narumi Pav, at the age of 13. Narumi woke up after hearing the chirping of birds. She was half asleep but her hand got on the other side of the bed. Out of her habit, searching for someone but didn't find anyone. Her eyes opened, after her hands didn't feel anything but only the bedsheet. She sighed and closed her eyes again. She looked sad. She got up and sat on the bed for a minute and looked outside the window. Konoha's weather was perfect throughout the year. It was the same lively day as always. Narumi moved her hand on the other side of her double-sized bed and grabbed the bedsheet with a gloomy face like before. She became sad after remembering someone. He always loved her, protected her from everyone, cared for her and most importantly prioritized her before anyone, even himself, but from last year he started ignoring her. She didn't know the reason. She tried talking to him but he ignored her or cut her off. It pained her so much. It was indeed her loving big brother Naruto. He always told her not to call him big brother. He didn't like it and didn't consider himself. After all, he was only 1 hour older than her, but she always teased him by saying that. She smiled remembering the time when she teased him and played with him. In the eyes of Narumi, he was the most handsome and amazing person on this planet. She never had seen someone like her brother. He had white skin with red hair and blue eyes like a deep ocean. His eyes were the bluest thing she saw. It was as beautiful as the blue ocean and blue sky. Whenever she looked him into his eyes, she started to lose within them. He had a cheerful personality. He always tried to make her smile with his goofy attitude. Whenever she seemed down, he always returned her smile by pranking someone or doing something funny. She remembered one time when he had pranked all the Jonin and even T. He Hokage by calling all of them in the training ground saying it was an emergency. For the Jonin he told them that Hokage had summoned them on the ground. When they got there, all the paint that he stored in the ground got sprinkled over all the Jonin and the Hokage. He didn't stop there, he did his sexy jutsu and all of them got knocked out from nosebleed. He did all of that because it was as their birthday and someone called her a monster. After seeing that she started smiling again and forgot about the monster. She stood up from the bed with the same gloomy face. She walked to the bathroom for a shower. As she entered, she saw a pair of clean and dry clothes for her. She smiled knowing it was her Aniki who kept that clothes for her. He did all the house chores and never let her do anything. She undressed herself and looked at the bathtub. There was already warm water in it. Again it was done by Naruto. She entered the bathtub and relaxed herself. She looked upward and closed her eyes but then tears started falling from her eyes. The memories of her brother flooded her head again and started recalling the time when she and Naruto bathed together happily. He would come to wash her hair and body but she would start playing with him in the bathtub with water. He would oppose her for some time but soon submit to her and let her do anything she wants. Narumi couldn't remember one time he scolded her. Naruto would never refuse her for anything, even if it's impossible to get. He would spoil her a lot. She didn't understand why he had started ignoring her. She got dressed after bathing. She wore the clothes that Naruto had left for her. It was a blue kimono that was tied on the waist and black pants. This was Narumi's favorite and he gave her on her last birthday. She smiled remembering that day. She went to the kitchen. Food was already prepared for her. She ate some but not all of it. She was planning to eat ramen today. Her brother had strictly instructed her to eat ramen only once per week. Narumi closed the door and started running toward Ichiraku's, hoping Naruto would be there waiting for her at Ichiraku's. She finally reached there and was about to enter but her hand stopped in the middle of the air automatically. Her heart started beating fast and her breath became heavy. She didn't know the reason why this was happening. This happened every time she tried to touch her brother or talk to him after a long time. She shrugged it off by thinking it was her nervousness. She set her eyes and took some deep breaths and relaxed herself just like Naruto taught her. She often would get nervous around people and Naruto told her to do that and it worked every time. She entered the shop and what she saw broke her heart. There was no one in the shop except Kyuki. He greeted her, "Oh, if it isn't my favorite customer Narumi-san, Tell me what you would like to have. Chuki asked her, smiling with his eyes closed like every time. She smiled hearing Chuki. He always asked her the same thing whenever she entered the shop. He was one of the people she loved and respected. When she was little, only he didn't call her demon or anything like everybody else. He didn't show any resentment towards her. She trusted him fully. Hello Jichin, can you bring 10 miso ramen please? He goes in there and returns with some ingredients and starts preparing her order. So, what do you do these days Narumi-chan? I don't see you often. Chuki asked Narumi. It was his habit. He always asked her about her life while preparing the order. Nothing much Jii-chan. It's just that I do training a lot these days. She answered his question smiling. Well, I do hope that you do well in your exams. Wait a minute, today is your graduation day, isn't it? Chuki again asked her with a surprised face. Well yes, but I know all the jutsu and stuff that will come in the exams. So, nothing to worry about, she told him with a stoic face. She really wasn't worried about the exam. She was worried about her brother. He had failed 2 years consecutively. She hoped that he would pass this year and be on the same team with her. She didn't know how he failed. He wasn't good at anything, she didn't know the reason, but she hoped that he would at least pass the exams somehow. Well, best of luck anyway Narumi-chan, not that you need it. Do best in your exams. And here are your orders. Chuki said this and fetched her a bowl of miso ramen and started waiting for her to finish the ramen because he knew that she ate at least 15 bowls of ramen. Ah, that was great Jii-chan. It tasted magnificent like every time. She complimented him smiling and rubbing her stomach. According to her it was the food of God. Well thank you Narumi-chan. I was glad that it tasted good like before. Chuki accepted her compliment with the same expression. Narumi then hesitantly asked him, have you seen my Aniki Jii-chan? Had he come here this week? Narumi asked Chuki, hoping he would give her some lead about her brother. Sorry Narumi-chan, but I haven't seen Naruto. It's like I haven't seen him in 6 months. He doesn't come here like before he'd come with you. Chuki answered her questions with a melancholic face. He didn't know why Naruto suddenly had stopped coming to his shop. He knew that Naruto liked ramen, so why won't he come there? He became more sad thinking about Narumi. She always came here with him, ate with him, and they always seemed together and inseparable. He didn't know what was happening with Naruto, why he suddenly started to ignore her. Sure, she had grown up, but she still needed him to support her and be there for her. Narumi paid him and left from there with disappointment. She was really looking forward to today. She wished that he would go to the academy with her and pass the exams and be on the same team with her. She hoped that, at least today, he won't be late. He always came late in class. Every day he would get scolded by Iruka-sensei. As she walked further she began to think more about her brother. She was so immersed in thinking about her brother that she didn't realize, when she reached the academy. Narumi entered the classroom. No one was there. It seemed like she was the first one to reach the classroom. She went to sit on the bench that was beside the window. She sat there and looked outside but started thinking about him and waiting for him again. She really hoped to be on the same team with him but was afraid that he was not going to pass. After 10 minutes students started coming. Her eye was glued on the gate of the classroom waiting for someone. As time passed by she started getting anxious. From the hallway she heard the footsteps of someone running. Her face lit up thinking that it could be her brother, but went down after revealing who it was. It was Sakura and Ino. Both were competing for reaching the classroom like always. They were always competing with each other in everything. Someone may ask why. The answer was simple: it was all for the sake of Sasuke. In the class almost all the girls were fans of him. He didn't talk much but it was pretty clear to her that he didn't want any of them. When Sakura and Ino saw that Sasuke isn't here they calmed down and took their seat. From the looks of it, it seemed that they were competing for who will sit beside Sasuke. Too bad he wasn't here. She realized then that she was on the same spot as Sasuke. Usually he sits on the window seat. Suddenly, class fell silent and Narumi looked at the gate who it was. It was none other than almighty Sasuke Uchiha. All the girls started vacating their other side of the seat hoping he would sit beside one of them. But he ignored all the seats. Letting Sakura's and Ino's seat and came to her. Looks like you have already taken my seat, Narumi. Sasuke said, standing there smiling. Usually Sasuke didn't smile or talk to anyone, but she was an exception and she knew the reason. It was because he liked her. He hadn't confessed to her. But it was pretty obvious from how he behaved around her. He would often try to start a conversation with her and walk her home. But she didn't care about that because she never liked Sasuke in the first place. She didn't know how all the girls loved him or how Sasuke fell for her. Narumi didn't. She considered herself pretty, after all. She didn't waste time or money on wearing makeup. Even all the girls knew that he liked her, that's why they were all jealous of her, but she didn't care. The attention she wanted was from only one. It was from her beloved brother Naruto. 1 year ago nobody would dare to talk to her or approach her because Naruto had already made it clear that he wouldn't tolerate anyone around her. Even Sasuke didn't dare to make a move on her 1 year ago. But after Naruto started growing distant from her, all the boys started confessing to her. She would always get a love letter per day. It was annoying to her. She also knew that there was a dedicated fan club for her that the boys made. You don't own the seat. Go wherever you want to sit. I will be sitting here today. Narumi replied bluntly to Sasuke. She didn't care what anyone or Sasuke thought about her. After she said that, all the boys started hooting and cheering, way to go Na. Rumi-chan, and the girls started protesting about how I could talk to their precious Sasuke-kun like that. Sakura then came to her and said in an angry tone, hey Narumi, who do you think you are? Why did you talk to Sasuke-kun like that, just because he gave you some attention? He was just reminding you that this seat belonged to him. Sakura instructed Narumi in an angry and demanding tone. Why do you care besides? Look, he is sitting on your bench. You should be thanking me. Narumi said to Sakura, showing where Sasuke was. Sakura looked at her bench and then started smiling. She immediately went to sit there. Narumi actually didn't like Sakura much. She was one of the few people who Narumi didn't like. After all, there were only few in the Narumi's hating list. It was not because Sakura was annoying or anything. She couldn't hate someone for that. It was because Naruto had declared his love for her. But she punched him after hearing that. She didn't respect Naruto much. Narumi couldn't tell why he had liked her, but she knew that her brother deserves someone better. Someone who would be with him in every stage of life, someone who would understand him, believe in him, and most importantly loved him unconditionally like herself. Oh, God, what was I thinking? Narumi's face got red just thinking about being with her brother. She started giggling to herself, fantasizing about that. She was pulled out from her musings when suddenly the class fell silent again. She wondered why, and got an answer when she saw Iruka-sensei. After a brief speech and instructions about the exam, he said, "Okay class, now we will begin the test." Narumi was about to say something, when someone from behind said something. It was Hinata Hyuga. "Iruka-sensei Naruto-kun, isn't he re?" Hinata said, stuttering. The whole class didn't believe their eyes, that the quiet and shy girl from the class spoke, and that's too for Naruto. She wasn't the type of girl who would speak in front of many people. Iruka looked at Hinata with disbelief and then replied, "I know Hinata. I also tried searching for him but couldn't find. He should at least show up on time today. If he can't even manage that, then how could he become a responsible ninja?" Iruka also wanted to graduate Naruto, but he wasn't able to do a simple clone jutsu. Not only clone jutsu, he was horrible at everything. No one in the history of Konoha had worse marks than his. He had created the record for failing 3 years consecutively in every subject. He never won in any sparring matches with anyone, not even one time. He was horrible at taijutsu and ninjutsu also. But Narumi was exactly the opposite. She never lost a match to anyone, not even to Sasuke, who was strongest in the boys. On one side Naruto created history of being worse, on the other side Narumi created the record of being the first female to not lose any matches and get top of class in everything. I think he got scared and ran from Konoha. Sakura taunted Naruto and whole class started laughing. This was a daily routine for Sakura. She made fun of him and punched him. But he still declared his love for her daily like an idiot. Whatever she did to him, he didn't mind or complain to her a bit. "Looks like you will need some lessons from me after all, Sakura." I have warned you many times. To not disrespect my brother, but you ignored my warning every time. If I got the chance to fight you today, then mark my word you will not step out of the ring alive. I will kill you then and there. I don't forgive anyone who says that to my brother. Narumi said this and unconsciously released a vast amount of killer intent towards Sakura. It was suffocating. She didn't do this on purpose, but she was in so much anger that she didn't even realize what she did. The whole class got scared after the warning and killer intent. No one had seen Narumi like this before. Sakura was just frozen in fear and shock. She didn't feel anything like this before. It was so suffocating that she thought she should just die, but Iruka got there on time and held her. Even Iruka didn't see Narumi like this before. He had only heard the rumors about them before. He had heard that 5 years ago both the brother and the sister had gone mad and massacred a vast amount of people. After that everyone was scared of them in the village. Unfortunately, or you can say fortunately, that Iruka was on a mission that day. Even Shikamaru was out of his sleep after hearing her. He murmured troublesome siblings. Normally he didn't care that much, but this was different. Chozi stopped eating his chips. Kiba got scared. After all, he was also one of the people who made fun of Naruto in the past. Ino was also scared. She wasn't Narumi's besties, but her relationship with Narumi wasn't like Sakura. They were friends. She knew that Narumi was possessive about Naruto, that's why she never commented on him. She had warned Sakura before. Narumi, you will not do something like that even if you get the chance to fight Sakura. Now apologies to her. Look how you scared her. If you don't, then I will place you on the last of the class in the exam. Iruka instructed and warned Narumi, hoping she would apologize to Sakura. Norma. LLY Narumi respected Iruka very much and sometimes they even had lunch together. But what Narumi said surprised everyone. There, do whatever you want. I will not take my words even if you failed me or have to repeat another year. I just simply don't forgive or forget anyone who hurt my brother in any way. She said with the same anger in her voice and with the same face. While she was saying this, she was looking at Sakura, not at Iruka. Anyo, Iruka sensei, can you please hold the Tay Street for 5 minutes? I might have an idea where Naruto-kun will be. Hinata said that, breaking the tension of the class. Iruka nodded after hearing this and gave her the permission. Hinata departed from there immediately. But Narumi got more angry after hearing Hinata. She was also the one that Narumi hated. She simply hated Hinata because after Naruto started ignoring Narumi, he would spend most of the time with Hinata. They would sit together in the class and talk to each other. Sometimes Hinata even fed Naruto by herself. Narumi considered her the reason why her brother was ignoring her. She thought that Hinata had conspired against her to her brother. She was sure of it. As she was getting angry thinking about Hinata, Hinata returned to the classroom with her brother. When Narumi saw her brother, her rage grew even more. He was holding the hand of Hinata. They entered the classroom, but when she stared at him intensely she forgot all the anger and sadness, just started blushing thinking how cute and handsome he looked. She checked him out once more. He had red hair and fair skin like Narumi, although his height was smaller than Narumi by 1 inch even when he was bigger than her by an hour, but this all could be sidelined when someone would see his eyes. His eyes were the most noticeable features. He had the bluest eye anyone could see. And his whisker marks magnified his cuteness 100 times. He wore a red high-necked jacket with blue pants and blue sandals. Overall, in the eyes of Narumi, he was the most handsome man on this planet. Naruto entered the classroom smiling. After seeing the class so silent he commented, laughing, why is the class so silent, guys? Iruka saw Naruto and shouted, what the hell, Naruto? Can't you be at least on time today? But sensei, I was training and preparing for today's exams. Naruto said this smiling, but his voice was honest and serious. Iruka could tell that much. Hearing that, Kiba was about to comment something funny but remembered Narumi's warning and dropped the idea. Naruto then greeted everyone except Narumi. After this, Narumi's heart broke into 1,000 pieces. He didn't even look at her. Then Naruto started coming towards Narumi. She thought he was gonna sit beside her. Her heart started beating really fast. She thought, oh my god, what will I say to him? She calmed herself down with breathing. As Naruto was taking the step towards her, she was getting excited, but when Naruto came to her bench he didn't stop there. Instead he stopped at the last bench. Seeing this, Narumi got depressed like before. So he was going towards her. I should have guessed it. Naruto stopped at Sakura's bench and said, "Good morning, Sakura-chan." After Sakura didn't respond, he looked at her intensely and thought something was wrong and asked her with a serious face, "What happened, Sakura-chan? Did someone do something to you?" When Sakura didn't respond to him, he knew something was up because before, Sakura wouldn't let him stand beside her even for a minute. "I know. Sasuke did something to you, didn't he?" Naruto said this and got up on the desk and sat opposite to the Sasuke and stared into Sasuke's eyes intensely. Sasuke got irritated by Naruto and said, "You should ask that to your sister, Naruto." Normally Sasuke didn't call him by his name, he called him loser, but today he didn't dare to call that after hearing Narumi. She had defeated him in every spar. After hearing his sister's name, Naruto's face suddenly changed from smiling to blank and he simply came down from the bench. He walks away from there to Hinata and sat beside her. Narumi, seeing this, got so upset that tears started coming down from her eyes. She immediately covered her face by her palm and wiped her tears. She was convinced now that her brother hated her. After doing the test, everyone was out in the field now for throwing shuriken. The test was to see how many targets everyone could hit. The target was cardboard. There were 3 cardboard, placing them at different distances. The first was 15 meters, second was 30 meters and third was 50 meters. Iruka called everyone and said, "Listen, students, this test will be conducted under Mizuki-sensei. He will test you in the kunai and shuriken exam." From the building came a man. He looked around 30. He had white shoulder-length hair with a slight hint of blue to it and green eyes. He wore the standard attire of the Konoha nin, which included a flak jacket and forehead protector that he wore like a bandana. He was also the one that Narumi didn't like. The reason was because when she sensed him, he was the same like villagers. His chakra was very nasty and he always hated her and her brother. She knew this because she could sense emotions of people. She discovered this when she was with her brother. He taught her how to control it. Mizuki called everyone, and when his eyes met with Narumi, his face became disgusted. She could sense his hatred to her. He changed his face to normal as soon as he showed that. This showed to Narumi that how much he was cunning. "Listen everyone, there are 10 cardboards at every distance. If you want to hit the nearest target that is at 15 meters, then you have to hit at least 7/10 target with shuriken and with kunai also. If you want to hit the middle target that is at 30 meters, you have to at least hit 5/10 target again with kunai and shuriken both." He explained to them. "What about the 50 meters target, sensei? How many targets do we have to hit that?" Naruto asked from back curiously. Hearing this, Sasuke said, "You don't have to worry yourself about that, Naruto. After all, you can't hit the easiest target." He was about to say further but stopped remembering Narumi. Everyone started laughing after hearing Sasuke, but when everyone looked at Narumi they stopped. Sasuke looked at her. Rage was visible in her eyes and on her face. He was again leaking some killer intent unintentionally towards Sasuke. She wasn't saying anything this time, but her look was same when she warned Sakura. It was "I will kill you" look. Sasuke got terrified after seeing her and regretted about commenting that. He hoped that he doesn't have to fight her. Mizuki, breaking the tension, said, "I didn't explain that because I'm convinced that nobody could complete the target because only 4 people in the history of Konoha had attempted the target and succeeded in it. First was Tsukumo Hatake, he had hit 5 kunai and 4 shuriken. Second was our 4th Hokage Minato Namikaze, he was able to hit 5 targets with both shuriken and kunai. Third was Kakashi Hatake, he was able to hit same number as the 4th Hokage. And finally fourth member was Itachi Uchiha, he was able to hit 7 targets with both kunai and shuriken, breaking the record of 4th. He was able to do that only because of his 2 Tomo Sharingan. I don't find any of you talented enough for that. At least not you, Naruto. But if you want to know that, then you have to hit only 2 targets with both kunai and shuriken in order to pass the test." He explained this and taunted Naruto with a disgusted face. He really hated him. He was present at the night when he went mad and had killed a lot of people. Mizuki was convinced that he and his sister was the QB. Everyone started going and taking the test. Sasuke was able to hit 7 shuriken and 8 kunai at 30 meters distance. Narumi was waiting for her turn and it came after Sasuke. She goes in the center of the field and scanned the target. She decided to hit the 30 meters target. She wasn't stupid enough to choose the 50 meters target. She knew that if Sasuke would attempted to hit the target one by one, then he could also have hit them all. After all, he had unlocked his shuriken at the age of 6. After witnessing his father's death at the hands of his brother, he had unlocked his shuriken. Apparently the rumor was that his father and some Uchiha heads were planning a coup d'état, but Itachi had killed them all, including his father. She also picked 3 kunai in each hand and throws at the target. She was able to hit them all. She picked another 3 sets of kunai in her right hand, 3 in other, and hit the target once more but missed the one. She was able to do that with shuriken also. She had hit it all 9 of them. Her score was highest in the class now. All the boys started clapping and cheering for her. Seeing that girls followed them also, she came back in the crowd with all the students. Name was called out one by one. She wasn't interested in any of them, she was just curious to see Naruto's performance. Mizuki finally called out Naruto's name. Naruto got in the center and picked up the shuriken together like Narumi. She was afraid that he wouldn't be able to hit the target at once. She prayed that at least he could hit 7 targets of 15 meters, then he would pass. She and everyone was expecting Naruto to throw the shuriken at 15 meters target, but got shocked when he threw them at 50 meters target. But real shocking was he was able to hit them all. All the students went silent at first, then started murmuring how could the loser of the class could do that. She wasn't also believing her eyes. She was so happy that from the crowd shouted very loudly, "Way to go, Aniki." Everyone started looking at her, but her eyes weren't at them, it was at Naruto. In the first time in 1 year, he had made eye contact with her. When her eye met his, she started blushing heavily. After all, she didn't expect him to hear her and see her too. Naruto's condition wasn't different, but as soon as she started blushing, her face automatically got in her palms from embarrassment. She wasn't able to see Naruto's face. After hitting all the 50 meters target with shuriken, he picked up the kunai in his hands. He threw them all at once. When kunai hit the cardboard, it pierced through all of them. It was all done by just brute force, not wind chakra or anything. All the students from the class wasn't believing their eyes. It wasn't daily that such miracle happened. The dead last, who wasn't able to win any matches in taijutsu and was at the bottom of class, had just broken the record. It wasn't everyday thing. Narumi was just smiling and heavily blushing after witnessing her brother's display. Sasuke was thinking, how Dobi, how are you doing this? Even my brother couldn't do this. Shikamaru was thinking, troublesome redhead. He wasn't able to understand Naruto in all these years. He was very different from others. When he came here and became friends with him, he was intelligent, although he wasn't stronger earlier either, but his way of seeing life inspired Shikamaru. He wasn't good in academics, but Shikamaru was sure that no one understood life more than Naruto. But from last year he had changed completely. He became knucklehead and loud. His image became class idiot. Shikamaru was sure that Naruto was faking it but couldn't understand why. Choji just started eating really fast. Ino and Sakura just couldn't believe their eyes that it was same Naruto. Shino was same as before. Kiba was wondering how did he do that. Again Naruto picked up the kunai all at once and threw them at the target. The result was same as before. After 30 minutes, the shuriken test was done. Now it was the time for taijutsu. Narumi was hoping to pair it up with Sakura or Sasuke. As soon as Mizuki was about to call them, Iruka interrupted. Sorry Mizuki-sensei, but this time I will examine them personally. Mizuki handed over the notebook and stepped outside from the ground. Narumi understood the meaning behind this action. She thought, so, you will not let me fight any of them, sensei? Iruka called out the name. First match, Narumi Uzumaki vs Hinata Hyuga. Hearing the name, Narumi smiled and thought, I'm in luck today. Just the girl I want. I will be satisfied with her. Of course I will not kill her, but I will beat her till she lose unconscious. Hinata got scared hearing the name of Narumi, but composed herself and assured herself that she will not back down. I will not give up. Like Naruto-kun, I will fight till the last of my breath. They prepared themselves to go into the ring. Before anyone could go inside, someone called, hold it. All the students looked who it was. It was none other than 5th Hokage Tsunade Senju. She became the Hokage before Uchiha was about to overthrow the 3rd Hokage. She was able to resolve Uchiha problem and maintain the peace in Konoha. Lady Tsunade, what do I owe the pleasure? Iruka asked Tsunade. Relax Iruka, I just came to watch the matches between students. They are the next generation after all. She replied to Iruka while walking. As soon as Narumi saw her, she ran at Tsunade and hugged her. Tsunade returned the hug. Have you come to see my matches, Auntie Tsunade? Narumi asked her, hugging. Tsunade smiled and whispered to he. How many time I have to tell you, Narumi, don't call me that in front of all the people. They will start to take me lightly. Tsunade said this laughing. Narumi started laughing after hearing her. She was one of the people that Narumi treasured. She was the reason all the villagers didn't bother them. Whole class got surprised after seeing the relationship between the Hokage and Narumi. Tsunade went to Naruto after Narumi. How are you, Naru-chan? Hearing the nickname, Naruto pouted. How many times I have to tell you not to call me that, Auntie Tsunade? Naruto said this with red cheeks. Ah, Naru, you look so cute when you pout. Now come give me a hug. She teased him more. Hearing this, he got more embarrassed, but tackled her with his arms. She also hugged her. All the students were curious and jealous at the same time that he was getting special treatment from Hokage. Iruka then spoke. Now the matches will continue. Rules are simple, you can use any jutsu you want, even ninjutsu, but weapons are prohibited. Hearing this, all the eyes went on Narumi and Hinata. Narumi hearing this got serious and looked at Hinata. She wasn't looking red of her, and this pissed Narumi even further. Both the fighter got in the ring. Iruka was between them and all the students and Hokages were watching now. Yes, even the third Hokage and Shizune was there. Hajime, start, said Iruka. As soon as he said that, Narumi didn't waste any time. She burst in low chunin level speed. Hinata got surprised seeing this. After all, she couldn't even see Narumi coming. Narumi got on the side of Hinata and placed her right hand on Hinata's left shoulder. Listen, Hinata, fight me with all you got from the beginning. If you don't, then you will be on the ground in 2 minutes. Use whatever jutsu you want, I don't care. I already hate you for stealing my Aniki from me. But don't worry, I will not kill you, but I will not let go of you easily either. When this match will be over, you would have hoped that you didn't have to fight me, because I will make you suffer until you give up, and when you decides to give up, I will not let you, and will too. Rture you until you will beg me for death, then my revenge will be complete. Narumi warned Hinata with a stoic face. She really hated her. Not everyone heard this conversation, but few did. One of them was Tsunade. After hearing Narumi say those words, she started remembering what happened 5 years ago. She hasn't changed a bit. Still possessive about Naruto, Tsunade said to herself, and looked at Naruto, who looked worried. Seeing this, she thought, say he did hear this. Sasuke was also listening with chakra-enhanced hearing. He was purely terrified after hearing this. He was thankful to Iruka that he didn't choose him. He was sure now that he would have been killed for commenting about Naruto. I will fight you with everything that I have got, Narumi-chan. I know that you are stronger than me and capable of doing those things that you said, but still I will not give up. I have learned this from Naru-kun. He had taught me that no matter how the odds are against you, you have to fight and give it all you got. And I haven't stolen your brother, Narumi-chan. He is still yours after all. Hinata replied to Narumi, smiling. She wasn't fazed at all by Narumi's threats. Hearing this made Narumi more angry, and the fact that Hinata said Naru-kun. So she has got this much close, huh? Narumi thought and got into battle stance. Hinata was also ready. She was waiting for Narumi to attack first. Narumi made a familiar sign and said, Multi-shadow clone jutsu. Natsumi said that an 20 clones poofed out of smoke in the ground in circle. He clones of Narumi encircled and trapped Hinata in it. Seeing B-rank jutsu, Iruka noted that in his notebook. Third Hokage was surprised a bit, then he looked at Tsunade and she gave confirmation IGN that indeed she taught her that jutsu. She also tried to teach it to Naruto, but he couldn't get it. He was only able to do 2 low E-rank ninjutsu, Kawarimi Jutsu, Replacement Jutsu, and Henge Jutsu, Transformation Jutsu. Tsunade couldn't understand why Naruto couldn't do it. It was made for the people who had a huge amount of chakra after all. All the shadow clones attacked Hinata in unison. Hinata was barely dodging their punches. It was with so much speed. If it wasn't for her Byakugan, then she would have gone down there. One of the clones targeted Hinata's face but Hinata barely dodged and hit them in the chest. Two of the clones poofed in smoke. One of the clones tried to take advantage of smoke and attacked her, but she easily saw this with her Byakugan and Agai. And when the clone was about to contact her, she dodged it and grabbed her hand and stricken on the back, and that also poofed in the smoke. Seeing this, Narumi understood she couldn't beat Hinata in a close-range fight. You were quite good with that style. Seems I have to take you seriously. I'm glad that I was able to impress you, Narumi-chan, but I'm not good at this. I barely do it and my movements are very sloppy even. You could see them. But don't worry, I told you that I would fight, right? I will fight you until you get out of the ring or I. Hinata was thinking about what Narumi would do now. From where she would attack next. Although she was confident in her style, she also knew that Narumi hadn't even started the fight yet. Narumi then made another 5 clones. And all of them surrounded Hinata like before. All of them started doing some hand signs. After they did that, they all bring their hands on their mouth and cried in unison. Fuden. Datapa, wind release. Great breakthrough. A great amount of wind was released from Narumi's clone mouth. Hinata saw the wind coming and started dodging some, but wasn't able to dodge all of them. After all, it was done by a great amount of clones. The wind instantly started to cut Hinata's whole body. There were several minor cuts around Hinata's body. But Narumi wasn't done there. Her clone instantly ran after bleeding Hinata. All the clones started to attack her together. Hinata could see all the attacks with her Byakugan easily. Then Hinata released her attack. Although she wasn't able to manipulate any elements yet, but she did know some Juken, gentle first techniques. After all the clones of Narumi's got into the range of Hinata. Hinata said in her mind, I was waiting for this. Hinata said loudly, 8 trigrams 16 palms. As soon as Hinata said that, her hand moved at such a rate that no students could see except Sasuke with his 2 Tomo Sharingan. She dispersed all of the clones of Narumi and started panting heavily. She was able to master it only because of Naruto. When he encouraged her and pushed her to her limit, she was able to master it. When Hinata saw that she had knocked out the original Narumi also, she didn't believe her eyes. Nobody could believe that Hinata had knocked out the original Narumi also. But when Hinata activated her Byakugan again, she saw something strange. She saw another Narumi in the ground beneath her. She understood all of it. The one that was knocked out was clone, not the original Narumi. Narumi's not even a single tenketsu was closed. Narumi rose from the ground at a great speed. She punched Hinata in the face. The punch created so much impact that she was almost knocked out. Narumi got near her and said, I had told you earlier. Don't worry. I will not let you give up even if you want to. Narumi taunted Hinata while laughing with satisfaction. Hinata was barely able to hear Narumi. She didn't want to fight anymore. Her body wasn't able to after that, but she still was determined to. She got up and took the fighting stance again. She wasn't able to open her Byakugan, but still she got up. So you want more, huh? I like it. I will get more of a chance to beat you, Hinata. Narumi said this while laughing madly. All the students and Hokages couldn't believe their eyes. How is she standing after that? Sasuke thought. Narumi made 5 clones again and she ran at Hinata. She kicked Hinata in the stomach and Hinata got tossed behind, but there was one of the Narumi's clones already there. The clone kicked Hinata in the spine and tossed her in the air and said, Yuzu ma ki barrage. When Hinata got in the air, the clone of Narumi jumped and kicked her stomach again, but when she was about to land on the ground through her chest, another clone appeared there and she just put her knee and she landed on Narumi's knee. The sound of bone cracking could be heard through the crowd. Everyone's face got terrified after seeing that. They have never seen Narumi like that before. Normally she just knocked everyone out instantly and ended the match as soon as it started, but this time was different. Sakura, seeing this, prayed that she never has to fight Narumi again. She understood now that what Narumi said was true. Everyone thought the match was over now. But the match was far from over. Narumi started to leave the ring satisfied. But she sensed Hinata's chakra again and looked behind. Hinata was again standing there in a Juken stance. She was barely standing. Her eyes were closed, blood was dropping from all her face. She said, I had told you, didn't I? Will never give up. I have learned from Naru-kun to never give up. Hearing Hinata saying her brother's nickname, Her rage took over her and she said, "Nobody calls my brother with that nickname, only me. You aren't worthy of calling him that." Narumi ran in so much rage and punched Hinata in the face with so much force that when Hinata hit the ground, it created a small crater. Hinata again got up. Narumi, seeing this, said, irritated, "You are starting to annoy me now. Just stay put. You will not get out of here alive if you keep standing." Narumi said, irritated and angry at the same time. "I have told you that I will not give up. Where are you going?" Seeing this, Narumi's rage took over her again and was about to throw her out of the ground when she heard her brother's voice. He was coming towards her while saying, "That's enough, you don't have to go that far." When she heard him saying that to Hinata, her heart really broke and some tears started rolling her eyes. Narumi looked down and said, "I give up." She said that and instantly went from there via Shunshin. After 30 minutes, Narumi came from the washroom almost after 30 minutes. When she reached the ground, all the eyes got on her. Some looked scared of her, some were Jew saints staring at her, and some of them were admiring her. She started to sense their emotions, but almost all of them felt scared from her. Her eyes then traveled to her brother. When she saw him, she was heartbroken once again. The head of Hinata was in the lap of Naruto. Hinata looked healed but still was unconscious. Narumi understood that Tsunade had healed her. Then she heard Iruka announcing the match between Sakura Haruno and Ino Yamanaka as Tai. Ichiraku announced next match, Naruto Uzumaki vs Sasuke Uchiha. Naruto got up from there and placed Hinata slowly on the ground. Both of them got in the fighting stance. Sasuke's stance was like Uchiha, but Naruto's stance was something unusual. It wasn't academy style or any clan's style. Narumi couldn't recognize this. As soon as Iruka said start, Sasuke immediately shot at Naruto with full speed. He started punching and kicking Naruto non-stop but was shocked when Naruto countered every one of his punches and kicks. When Narumi analyzed her brother's fighting style, it was similar to Hinata. She understood that it was Hinata who had taught him and his brother modified that. The longer Sasuke fought, the longer his hand and legs started becoming numb. Sasuke then realized and took a step back. "So you fight like that, Hyuga, huh? Even without the Byakugan you managed to close some of my tenketsu on hands and legs. I don't understand how you managed to learn that, but I will not fight you in close range again." Sasuke remarked this like he was admiring him. All the students and Hokages got surprised to hear this. Apparently nobody had used Juken outside from Hyuga clan like before. "So, you found out, huh? It wasn't difficult when Hina-chan taught me. But yeah, I have modified it and made for someone who doesn't have Byakugan to use this. It isn't as effective as original, but it is superior to every other form of taijutsu. It took me so much time to learn this." Naruto lied to Sasuke, smiling and somewhat proud of himself. "Don't get full of yourselves, I haven't even started yet," replied Sasuke, smirking. He said that and instantly burst with Chunin level speed. He got behind Naruto and punched him on the face. The punch contacted Naruto's face directly and he fell on the ground. Sasuke didn't stop there. He jumped in the air and kicked Naruto in the stomach, who was laying on the ground. Naruto couldn't dodge Sasuke. When Sasuke kicked Naruto in the stomach, Naruto puked some blood from his mouth. Sasuke again tried to kick Naruto, but Naruto rolled to his right and dodged Sasuke's kick and grabbed Sasuke's legs and dropped him on the ground and got up. Naruto was about to kick Sasuke in the face when Sasuke used replacement jutsu and Naruto kicked the log. Naruto's foot made contact with the log and the log got torn apart in several pieces. Naruto was about to make his next move when he saw Sasuke making hand sign. Kaden. Gook. Aku no Jutsu, fire release. Great fireball technique. Sasuke inhaled large amount of air and blowed a large fireball jutsu. Naruto was barely able to dodge that jutsu, and when he dodged it, Sasuke was already there where Naruto had landed after dodging the attack. Sasuke didn't give Naruto the time to think his next move. Before Naruto could do something, Sasuke already had pinned him down. "Honestly, I can't see why is she obsessed over you. I see nothing but a disappointment. You are so weak. You are not someone special. You know, my brother had warned about you and had instructed me strictly to not engage with you, but every time I got to know you, you were nothing special. I guess even Ni-san could be wrong about someone, sometimes. I didn't have to even activate my Sharingan in order to fight you. Sasuke said this while pinning him down to the ground. First Sasuke considered him rival when Itachi had praised Naruto. But in time he grew stronger and Naruto remained same. After some time he started considering Narumi his rival. Everyone had predicted this, but Naruto sure had got everyone's hope up after creating that record. Everyone sighed in disappointment. Well, Naruto sure had gotten my hopes up, but the ending was inevitable. After all, Sasuke is prodigy like Narumi. Kiba said this to Shikamaru. Don't lose your hope yet, Kiba. He may sometimes surprise us like he did today with his shuriken jutsu. Shikamaru said this smiling. After seeing the scratches on Naruto's body, he was sure that no one was working hard more than Naruto. After all, nobody had used Juken before outside the Hyuga clan, not to talk about how Naruto had just created history today with his shuriken jutsu. I hope that what you said is true. If he couldn't catch up with Narumi, then he will be left behind definitely. Kiba said this with hope. Winner Sasuke Uchiha. Iruka declared the results. Seeing the utter defeat of her brother, she lost all the hope of becoming ninja together. She didn't know the reason why her brother was like that. If she had known, then she would have definitely found a solution. In starting he excelled at everything. He was so intelligent that she learned from him in first year, but after time he just couldn't keep up with everyone. He struggled to do even a basic jutsu. Naruto got up from there with gloomy face and went to see Hinata. Some of the matches were still left, but Narumi didn't had interest in any of them, so she left from there to sit under a sakura tree. When he was sitting there, she remembered the time when she and her brother would sit there. He would feed her with his own hands. As she was remembering those time, she sensed Sasuke coming here. After 2 minutes Sasuke finally reached to her. Hey Narumi, are you alright? Sasuke asked with concern in his voice. Narumi looked at him and wondered what's up with him. Yup, why do you ask, Sasuke? She asked Sasuke. It's just that when you left the ground, it seemed like you could cry at any time. Even when you didn't get hit once. Sasuke answered to her honestly. I'm alright now, don't worry, and you can tell me the real reason why you are here, she asked Sasuke bluntly. She knew that he isn't here for asking how she was. She knew him through and through. Sasuke here, her and thought it was so much like Narumi. He recalled why he was here and started blushing, thinking about what he was about to say. You were right, I should tell you why I'm here. Sasuke got lose to Narumi and placed his hands on her shoulder and said. Listen Narumi, I like you very much. When I first saw you, on the very first day of the academy, I fell in love with you. After that I thought it was some childhood crush, but when you started defeating me and becoming strongest in the class, I started falling in love with you more and more. I always admired you, so I thought I should tell you now as it is last day of the academy. It wouldn't be fair to me if I didn't tell you. So, please can you give me a chance and go out me on a date? I'm asking you just one date. Sasuke said all of this while blushing. All he said was true word by word. He eagerly waited for the response of Narumi. He was also feeling scared from being rejected but didn't find any reason for her to reject him. He was sure that no one was worthy of Narumi in his class beside him. Narumi listened to him carefully. She had the guess that he had came for confessing to her. She looked at Sasuke's face. He looked desperate, his eyes was begging that she would say yes to her. She sensed some fear also from him. If any fangirl would see Sasuke like this, they wouldn't believe their eyes that it was same Sasuke who didn't respond to anyone and kept himself separated from everyone. She finally decided to respond. No, she just replied to him in one word. After hearing her response, Sasuke's face became paled. There were several questions and emotions flowing inside of him right now. Sadness, shock, feeling of being rejected, and some anger. The question that was inside of him was just why. I just don't see you that way, Sasuke. It's as simple as that. She didn't said this, but it was all written on her face that why she rejected him. Sasuke cool. Didn't see a hint of sorrow on her face after rejecting him. He understood it was all because of Naruto. Hey Narumi, if you don't mind me asking, then could you tell me why do you care about your brother so much? I mean, he isn't good for anything. He only hurts you. Sasuke asked her. He didn't know why she was so obsessed with him. After all, he was a loser and she was topper and genius. Hearing Sasuke, Narumi looked at him with so much intense and replied, "You wouldn't get it. Nobody will get it. How much my Aniki means to me. He means world to me. Don't pry your nose in my business." She said that and left from there instantly. Narumi went into the classroom and just sat there alone. She fell asleep after some time. Narumi, Narumi, Narumi heard someone calling her. She started waking up. She got up and realized that she fell asleep there. She looked around for the person who was calling her. It was Iruka. "Sorry sensei, I fell asleep." Narumi replied to Iruka, who was calling her repeatedly. "It's okay. Just come here and take the test. You have to do 3 basic jutsu. Kawarimi jutsu, replacement jutsu. Henge jutsu, transformation jutsu. Bunshin jutsu, clone jutsu. Do this and you will become genin. That means you are just one step away from becoming a nice ninja. So far your score has been fantastic." Narumi knew this already, so she got up from her seat and came to Iruka. "Okay Iruka-sensei, I have made my personal jutsu just for this. So, watch carefully." Narumi said that to Iruka, who had confused looks as to what she will do. All the eyes went on Narumi. She made a hand sign and poofed a smoke. Standing there was Naruto, and Narumi was at the gate of the class. Iruka couldn't see what happened, so he asked, "What did you do, Narumi?" "I had asked you to do the 3 basic jutsu." Narumi smirked hearing Iruka. "I just did that sensei. Look, first I made a shadow clone that was already transformed in my Aniki. Then I replaced that shadow clone with me. You couldn't see it because it happened in less than a second. This is my own creation. First I created a jutsu that was a mix of shadow clone and transformation jutsu, then I tried to replace that clone with myself. I tried create it with just one hand sign also. When I created it, it took me 2 or 3 seconds to replace, but with practice, I perfected it because in battle there wouldn't be a single second to spare." Narumi explained that to Iruka. He was just stunned. Really, he hadn't seen any shinobi with caliber of Narumi. She was just too brilliant. She excelled in everything that she did. All the students also heard the explanation of Narumi. Everyone started to talking to each other like how she had created a jutsu. Iruka then made silent everyone and looked at Narumi with a smile. "Really Narumi, I haven't seen anyone of your level. I'm just too happy for you. Now close your eyes, I have something to give it to you." Iruka said that, crying and smiling at the same time. He remembered when he had first seen her. She was behind Naruto and always would cling to him, but now, look at her, she had become a full-fledged ninja. He knew that she would succeed in anything that she would do. He also had judged her for 9 tails, but when he started talking to her, he came to understand that she was not like 9 tails, she was gentle and kind. Iruka removed his headband and tied to her neck. "Now open your eyes, Narumi." Narumi opened her eyes and saw the Hinata that Iruka had gave her. She jumped out of excitement and joy. She started crying and tackled Iruka. "Thank you Iruka-sensei. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you." She started saying thank you to Iruka over and over again. "There's no need to thank me, Narumi. It was all your hard work. I just guided you and you paved your own path. I'm really proud of you, Narumi. For celebratio, and I will take you to Ichiraku's and you can eat how much you want." Iruka said to her and she nodded happily. He then told her to take her seat because there was a lot of students remaining. Narumi then felt then and there for a hug from her brother. If it would had been 1 year earlier, he would have took her in his arms and kept her whole time. Sadly, it wasn't. Narumi took her seat and started seeing the Hinata that Iruka gave her. She was checking it out again and again, not believing that she had become ninja. After some time of happiness, she remembered her brother again and became sad. They both had said to each other that they both would become ninja together and go on missions together. She was just thinking about that when she heard Iruka calling the name of her brother. She looked at him and sensed his emotions. Although he had restricted her from doing that, he had told her to sense him only when she felt scared or alone, but she couldn't just do it. She was just too curious today. She sensed him and he looked nervous, scared and regretful. When she sensed those emotions from her brother, she just wanted to hug him and say that it will be all right. But she couldn't do it. Naruto went there and did the 2 of the jutsu out of 3 that Iruka had told him. When he attempted the third and final jutsu, clone jutsu, he failed there. After failing, Naruto tried again and again, but the result came same at every time. Iruka had saw it coming, but he hoped that he would do it right today. He became as much sad as when he felt happy about Narumi. Stop it, Naruto, that's enough. Iruka instructed Naruto, who was desperately trying to do the clone jutsu again and again. When Naruto heard Iruka and looked at him, it seemed like he was just going to cry. Before Naruto's tears could drop from his eyes, Naruto ran from there. Seeing this, Iruka's face became frigid. He loved Naruto as much as he loved Narumi. Before this year, Naruto and Narumi would often go to eat ramen with Iruka. He was like a big brother to Naruto. Narumi now really wanted to go to her brother and talk to him, comfort him, but how could she go? He just hated her. Hinata also wanted to comfort Naruto, but she knew that it was best to leave him alone for now. But she did decided that she would see him after the exam. After the exam, it was almost 3 p.m. now. The exams were over now. After Iruka gave last hit to the last student of his class. He gave some speech about how they would face more difficulties from now on. He then announced that after 7 days will be team placement. Then he dismissed the class. As soon as he said that, all the students ran from class to meet their parents. All parents were at the gate of academy waiting for their child to come. Narumi got out from the class and went to search for her brother. When she came to the gate, she was encountered by many parents and some of her classmates. They were all congratulating her. But she wasn't looking for their congratulations, she was desperate to hear from her brother. She then started searching for Hinata from the crowd. She knew that Hinata would know where her brother would be. She started looking for her and spotted her. Hinata was accompanied by her father and some of clansmen and her servant. It looked like she was trying to get out from there, but all of the people from her clan wouldn't let her do it. Then she heard everyone whispering that there was only one student failed this year. They were all calling her brother Demon and Nine Tails and with many names. Some of the people started talking about Narumi, that she must have felt bad for having such brother. Narumi wanted to tell THM that they were all wrong, but it was no good. They wouldn't change their opinion. Narumi went out from there and started searching for her brother. Evening at 7 p.m. Narumi couldn't find her brother anywhere in the village. She started thinking, where could he be? She then remembered when they were little his brother had made a treehouse for them. Narumi would often go there, when she was sad and upset about anything. She quickly sunshined herself there. She started climbing the tree hoping to find her brother. Then she saw her brother, who was laying on the floor in the position of hugging himself. His knees was at his chest and his hand was tied on his legs. She could heard some of the sob that were coming from him. Really, she hadn't seen her brother like this before. As long as she could remember, he hadn't cried in front of her before. Naruto POV. It was 4 a.m. in the morning. Almost all the people of Konoha were in sleep, but not all of them. Some of the people had already woken up. One of them was Naruto. It was a daily routine for Naruto to be awake at 4 a.m. Naruto's eyes opened. He didn't need any alarm to wake up, as long as he could remember. He woke up around this time. Naruto sighed. It was another depressing day for Naruto. Today was more depressing for Naruto because of graduation exams. He wasn't confident in his skills. He laid down on the sofa for some minutes, then decided to leave his comfort, although you could say this bed was not comfortable for Naruto. There was only one bedroom and bed in the use of Naruto even when there was 2 people. It was because at first they didn't needed one. Although Hokages had offered them another apartment, they didn't feel that time the need to change. It was because none of them had thought that they would sleep separately. Naruto had started to sleep separately from his sister 1 year ago. He didn't tell her the reason why he was doing this, even when she had asked many times. At first she would ask him non-stop, but after some time when he started ignoring her, she just didn't ask him anymore. Naruto went into the bathroom and did his business. After refreshing, Naruto started cooking for his sister and himself. After cooking, he cleaned the house and did some other work. He looked at time and realized he was late. He quickly went into the bathroom again and heated the water for his sister. After that he went to prepare the clothes that his sister was going to wear. He entered the room of Narumi reluctantly. He didn't wanted to enter her room but he had to, in order to prepare the clothes for her. He opened the gate slowly, then his eyes fell on the sight of sleeping Narumi. He started blushing heavily as he saw the sleeping face of Narumi. In Naruto's eyes, she was a perfect girl, beautiful and powerful at the same time. He didn't consider anyone as beautiful and cute as his sister. He was staring at her intensely. She had red hair just like Naruto. Her skin was white as feather. On top of all, she had 3 whiskers marks on each cheek. All the features were like Naruto except for her height and her eyes. She had violet eyes and her height was 5 feet 5 while Naruto's height was 5 feet 4. She looked so peaceful and beautiful while sleeping. He loved her every feature. From her shyness to her cuteness. She was shy and blunt at the same time. When she was with him, she always looked shy and didn't talk to anyone besides him, but after he separated himself from her, she had become more blunt. Her persona was like she didn't care the opinion of the people. He also didn't want to separate from her beloved sister, but he had to because he had a secret that he could never tell anybody, but he had told that secret to one person. It was Hinata. She was the only friend that he had. He realized that he was at the gate for almost 10 minutes staring at his sister. He left the cloth there and immediately rushed out from there. He started running towards the training ground for his training. He was going there to practice his shuriken and the taijutsu that he and Hinata had made for himself. After reaching the ground, Naruto removed the jacket that he was wearing and started running around the ground for the warm-up. He was practicing some kata that he hadn't mastered yet when he heard someone's voice, who was calling him. After hearing, it seemed like it was a girl's voice. He turned around to see who it was. It was Hinata. He looked at was his height. She looked beautiful. She had blue hair that was reaching to her shoulder. She had white skin color. She usually wore a cream color jacket and blue color shinobi pants. But it could be all sidelined when anyone would see her eyes. She had the most beautiful eyes in the whole Konoha. It was like a pearl in the ocean. When Hinata saw Naruto topless, she started blushing. He had built the muscles in his training in taijutsu. She remembered when she saw him the first time. It was when she was away from her home. He had returned to her home. That time, she didn't know him, but when he had saved her from those bullies who were bullying for her eyes. He had rescued her from those bullies. It was right then, she had called for him. She had fallen in love with him. After that she started following him, but every time she would get caught by his sister Narumi. She would always be with him. But 1 year ago they started to become distant from each other. Then she had confronted him and confessed to him finally. He rejected her there but didn't told her the reason and simply said that he would like to become her friend. First Hinata was heartbroken, then she saw hope of getting him, when he said that he would like to become her friend. As time passed they started becoming close to each other. He would help her to train and motivate her and she would also train with him. Thanks to Hinata he had learned the Juken. When he had asked her to teach him, she couldn't understand how would he do without Byakugan. Then Naruto told her that he will remember every tenketsu point in human body. She couldn't believe his words, after all nobody had done this. She marked all the tenketsu point on his body. Although she was reluctant at first because he had stripped himself completely, but after some time she marked his all 361 tenketsu point. Next she started teaching him the chakra control exercises. It was difficult, but after some time he grasped the concept. He had completed all the basic chakra control exercises, then she taught him the Juken. Flashback. One day when they were taking a break, she had asked him, Naru-kun, why did you reject me? Am I not beautiful to you? Do you dislike me because of my weird eyes? She asked Naruto from his nickname. He had given her the permission to call him. He also called her with nickname. She asked him that because she wanted to know the reason. Naruto looked at Hinata. He knew that she was going to ask him that question one day. He was avoiding these questions from a long time but decided to tell her the reason. First he was hesitant but then remembered that she had taught him her clan's secret taijutsu technique. She didn't even reject him once. The idea of teaching him. It was opposite. She was worried about him, that when he wouldn't get it, he would start to doubt himself. He smiled for not trusting her. Then he decided to tell his secret. Hina-chan, what I'm about to tell you. You can't tell anyone about it. Not even your closest friends. I rejected you not because you were not beautiful or I find your eyes disgusting. It's the opposite, you have the most beautiful eyes that I have ever seen. It's a whole different reason. I rejected you because I'm in love with somebody else. Although I can't be with her. But I can't forget her. Hinata hearing this got curious who it was and asked him. Naruto looked down and said, "It's my sister Narumi." His head was down in shame, he couldn't look her in her eyes. He knew that she would be disgusted by it. After Hinata heard the name, she got shocked. Then she thought so that was the reason why he separated himself from her. She looked at Naruto whose head was down in shame. Hinata lifted Naruto's face. She was smiling. "I don't hate you Naruto-kun for that. Don't beat yourself about it. You know you don't have the control over your heart. It can fall for anybody, be may your sister, mother, brother, father. You don't have control over who you fall for. Although incest is legal in Konoha and my clan practices it, they don't do it with their own sister. Don't lower yourself. So, who else knows about it?" Hinata asked Naruto with a smile. Naruto couldn't believe his eyes. She wasn't disgusted by him. "Nobody. You are the first person that I told. I haven't told anybody yet. Nor will I." When I had realized that I had fallen for my own sister, I separated myself from her. If I saw her more, then I wouldn't be able to control myself. After that I started to behave like an idiot and declared my love for Sakura. I masked myself. I separated myself from everyone. I had become ner. Then you came to me and confessed yourself to me. First I had considered the idea of keeping you. But it wouldn't have been fair to you. Naruto explained everything to her. "Thank you for being honest and trusting me Naruto-kun. I will never break your trust." Hinata promised that to Naruto. Flashback end. Naruto then asked Hinata why she had come. Hinata then remembered the reason why she was here. She informed Naruto about the exams. Naruto looked at time and realized how late he was. He took the hand of Hinata and started running towards the academy. "Sorry Hinata-chan, I got so immersed in training that I didn't realize the time. You had to call me. I'm so pathetic." Naruto criticized himself while running. Meanwhile Hinata was just blushing from holding hands of Naruto. They reached the academy. When Iruka-sensei saw Naruto, "That is me," he started scolding me. "He wasn't wrong, you know. He just cared about me that much, I knew it. I had he sight to judge people and know if they are my well-wishers or not." After I explained to Iruka-sensei why I was late, I noticed that nobody had commented on me. Normally, if I said anything, here was always someone to criticize me, but not today. I got surprised and asked why the class is so much silent. When nobody replied to me, I started going towards my seat that is near Hinata. I always sat beside Hinata after departing from my sister. Then I remembered about Sakura and thought of greeting her. I started going towards Sakura's bench. She was sitting beside Sasuke today. Normally Sasuke didn't let anyone sit beside him except for Narumi. I hated him for that. When I looked towards Sakura, I saw my sister who was sitting at the window. As soon as I saw her, I diverted my eyes from her. It was like a glance. From each step that I was taking, I wanted to see Narumi more. After all, I hadn't seen her or touched her properly for a year now. But I controlled myself and got to the Sakura's seat. I greeted Sakura, but she didn't respond. It seemed odd to me that Sakura wouldn't punch me for greeting her. Normally when I spoke even a word to her, she would punch me or call me an idiot. Then I understood what was going on. It seemed Sasuke had just rejected Sakura harshly. Then I got up on the bench of Sasuke and stared him into his eyes. No, Mali, I wanted Sasuke and Sakura to be together because I couldn't see Narumi in someone else's hand. I finally decided to ask Sasuke about it. When I asked him, he seemed rather irritated of me. Seeing that look on his face, I got satisfied. But what he said to me surprised me. He said to ask my sister. Then I got the whole picture. It seemed Narumi had done something to Sakura. I couldn't believe it. Even when she hated Sakura, she wouldn't do something to her. After I started ignoring her, she started to become more bitter towards Sakura and Hinata. I could understand her. She was doing that because I gave them some of my attention and that Narumi couldn't see and started hating them. After all, before that, I gave all my undivided attention to only Narumi. It would be normal to do that. Even I would do something like that when Narumi will suddenly start to ignore me and went to someone else. It was justified in the eyes of Naruto. Hearing the reason from Sasuke, I knew that I shouldn't pry further in this matter. I simply stood up from there and went to sit beside Hinata-chan. Iruka-sensei then gave me the question paper and exam sheet. After seeing the questions, my face became paled. I barely knew 2 or 3 answers out of 15. After doing the test, Iruka-sensei took us in the field for testing our taijutsu and shurikenjutsu. Uka-sensei then announced that Mizuki-sensei will be testing them. Hearing the name of him, I clenched my fist in anger hearing his name. Once, he had made fun of Narumi and called her a monster. I wanted to beat shit out of him but I couldn't. After all, he was a chunin and I wasn't even a genin at that time. Mizuki-sensei then explained everything but except for one thing about 50 meters targets. When I asked him about the 50 meters target, all the students started to laugh at me. Nobody was expecting me to aim at that after all. I wasn't a prodigy like 4th Hokage and Kakashi Hatake and I didn't even have the fancy Sharingan. How could anyone believe in me? I could understand them but yet I hoped that one person would believe in me. I hoped that my Narumi would believe in me. I knew that there was nothing I could do in order to change their perception. So, I did the most right thing any normal human would do. I started working super hard. I did the training like crazy. I even perfected my shuriken jutsu. I was just afraid of one thing. The clone jutsu. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't do it. When I told Auntie Tsunade about it, she had suggested me to do the shadow clone instead of normal clone. This jutsu was made for people like me who had large reserves of chakra. I couldn't do even that jutsu. Nobody knew the reason for my failure, not even Auntie Tsunade. Mizuki-sensei started calling the students, then I heard the name of my sister. She didn't look fazed. I was wondering which target would she chose to hit. She chose the middle one and aced it 9 out of 10. I cheered her internally. I knew she could do it. She wasn't a failure like me. She was a prodigy, exact opposite of me. Mizuki-sensei then called me. I went into the middle of the ground where I was supposed to aim. I closed my eyes and relaxed myself. I thought about which target to hit. Of course it was easy to do the first one but I hadn't practiced that much for the easiest. I chose the hardest one, the 50 meters target. I was hesitant at first because of the fear of my failure but then believed in myself. I picked up 3 shuriken together in each hand and threw them at 50 meters target, believing in my target. When my all shuriken made the contact with the 50 meters target with perfect accuracy, I heard nothing. All the students who were watching went silent. Then I heard someone shouting, "Way to go, Aniki." There was no one besides one girl who called me that. I looked in the crowd. There, I made the eye contact with Narumi for the first time in this whole year. When I made eye contact, I started blushing intensely, seeing the face of Narumi who was also seeing me. Although, it was just for a second but that did the work for me. I got motivated and then I threw the kunai. It pierced the cardboard. I had thrown with so much force. After I created the history, Iruka-sensei announced that after few minutes break, there will be taijutsu match. After the break, Iruka-sensei was about to begin the match between Narumi and Hinata-chan. Auntie Tsunade came. As soon as Narumi saw her, she tackled Tsunade and gave her a hug. After that, Auntie Tsunade came to me. She teased me by calling me Naru-chan. I got teased because whenever my sister would call me that I would tell her to stop, but one day Auntie Tsunade so heard Narumi and she also started to tease me from then. It was a happy life. I was missing those things but knew that nothing could be done. We couldn't go back to a normal sibling. When the match begun, it was supposed to be a friendly match but it turned out to be a massacre. First, Narumi warned Hinata-chan about me being close to her. She threatened Hinata-chan so much that I could see fear in her eyes but determination at the same time. She was there to prove herself to me, to the people in her clan. When I heard the whole warning of Narumi, I got scared for Hinata but at the same time lowered my head in shame. It was happening all because of me. Narumi was clearly winning the matches. It was one-sided from the beginning but yet Hinata-chan stood up every time from ground. Hinata-chan's face was covered in blood. Many of her bones, ribs and chest were broken but she stood up yet again. I had enough of this. That's enough, you don't have to go that far. I said that to Hinata while some tears were in my eyes. As soon as I said that, I noticed Narumi's head went down and she said give up. I understood Narumi that she was upset about me supporting Hinata instead of her. I also wanted to support Narumi, but what could I have done? Narumi said that and left the ground immediately. I and Auntie Tsunade ran at Hinata. I picked her up in my arms. Auntie Tsunade started healing her. If she would have fought more, she would have been in grave danger. When Auntie Tsunade was done, I noticed Narumi had returned. She looked sad for some reason. I knew it was probably because of me. I wanted to explain to her, apologize to her, hug her and hold her close to my chest. I didn't wanted her to let go for the rest of my life, but how could I? I was sure that no brother was more selfish than me. I heard my name. It seemed I was going to fight Sasuke. I was prepared. I had practiced very much but not enough in my mind, but still it was time to fight. I got in the ring. Match was finished as soon as it started. It was more one-sided than Hinata-chan. Sasuke repeatedly mocked me. I couldn't say anything back to him. It was all true that he said. I looked in the crowd. Narumi wasn't there. I knew after watching me she would have been ashamed of me. What would people say? One sibling was a prod. IGY while other one was complete idiot and failure. Then I saw Hinata-chan. She was smiling at me. I went to her. Almost all of her injuries were healed. You must have been disappointed in me, right? Even after using your taijutsu. I got my ass kicked. Narumi wasn't even there. She was clearly disappointed and ashamed of me. Naruto said that looking down. He wasn't more ashamed of himself more than this day. It was his dream that someday his sister would look up to him and say proudly that she was his sister. Sadly, that day didn't came. Don't beat yourself about that, Naruto-kun. You did your best. Besides, I think she was proud of you. Didn't you hear her shouting your name and cheering you when you aced the shuriken jutsu? Hinata comforted Naruto. She knew how much it mattered to Naruto. Naruto, hearing Hinata, thought about it and smiled, remembering today's events when Narumi was cheering for him. You were right, Hinata-chan. Naruto said, looking at Hinata and appreciating the efforts of Hinata for cheering him. Naruto then thought about Narumi. He finally decided that he should tell her even if it hurted her more. Naruto left Hinata there and went to search for Narumi. He was searching her, then he saw that under the sakura tree there was Narumi, and it seemed like there was someone else also. He got near enough to see them and hear them. When he saw who it was, his eyes went wide open in shock. The other one was Sasuke and his hands were on her shoulder. He was confessing to her, and Narumi also didn't drifted his hands away. She didn't look fazed at all. Naruto knew that Sasuke had liked her but didn't knew it was the same for Narumi. Naruto started panting heavily. He felt like suffocating. There was so much pain in his heart. He immediately left from there. When Narumi didn't brushed off his hand from her shoulder, he felt like something had been cut off from his life. He started remembering the moments he spent with her. It was all fading away. Then Naruto realized Narumi was soon going to be in someone else's hand. He was going to lose her. He started thinking it was not fair. Naruto wanted only one thing, and now that too was Sasuke's. From the childhood he had struggled to get the things that were already within Sasuke's reach, but one thing Sasuke would not get is his sister. Sasuke didn't had to work hard for a family, for food, for shelter, and most importantly for love. It was all given to him on a platter while Naruto struggled to get everything. There was so much going on his mind. He started regretting it. He thought he should have told her how he felt, at least she would have rejected him. He was thinking about that when he heard Iruka calling all of them for the final test. He wasn't thinking about the test anymore. He was just regretting things. How could he not? After all, she was his first love. Everyone was going in the front and taking the test. Nobody seems to have struggled with anything. Then he heard the name of his sister. He looked at her. She was smiling. Of course she would be smiling, after all today she got her first love, and it was Sasuke. The boy which every girl craved for. He was the star of the class. Every girl wanted Sasuke except for Hinata. While Naruto was like a dirty animal, everyone despised him. Ran away from him like he was some kind of plague. Nobody wanted him. He was all alone. Narumi aced the test with flying colors. She had created a total new badass jutsu. He was happy for her, proud of her. How could he not after all she was his beloved sister? Naruto heard his name he got there. He was scared for failing the test, after all, clone jutsu was his worst jutsu. I tried to relax myself but how could I? I couldn't do it. Narumi was all in my mind, not test or fear of failing. All I could think about is how I lost Narumi. But still I took the test. I D2 jutsu perfectly but when I did the clone jutsu I couldn't produce to clone. I got frustrated and started to try again and again. When I couldn't do it, I started to get desperate but it was all in vain. In the end, I couldn't even produce one clone. Iruka-sensei then told me to stop. I looked at him. He looked sad, disappointed and most importantly he looked like I just had broke all the trust and hope of his. I couldn't look at him. I had just broken his trust and hope. My eyes got filled with tears, I couldn't even look at class and my sister. I ran from there. I started running and running. I didn't know where I was going, it was all my instinct. I found myself in front of the tree house that I made for Narumi and myself. I saw the kanji, House of Narumi in Naruto. I had written it myself. I climbed to the house. I laid on the wooden floor. I started remembering all the time when I had disappointed everyone. Then I realized that I had constantly disappointed my sister and the whole world. I realized how big of a failure I was. I was a monster that everyone said who could love his own sister, only a monster. I was disgusted by myself. Tears started flowing from my eyes. I started crying. For the first time in my life I felt lonely and scared. Scared that what will I do now? I had just lost my purpose of living. I had promised my sister that I would protect her, but she didn't needed me. Nobody needed me. Nobody's paw. Narumi was seeing her brother. He was on the floor sobbing to himself. She got near him and asked him from behind. Aniki, are you alright? There was concern in those voice for Naruto. When suddenly Naruto heard his sister. He got surprised, she totally sneaked on him. He couldn't sense her chakra. Not until she spoke. He wiped his tears. He couldn't afford to present himself like this in front of his sister. Naruto turned around and saw Narumi, his heart started racing but he controlled himself then he smiled and said, "Yes Narumi, why do you ask? I'm fine. How did you find me? Oh, silly me, you can sense emotions and chakra, it would be a cakewalk for you. By the way congratulations for passing the academy. Although, I couldn't pass. Sorry you must be disappointed in me. I broke our promise." Narumi was hearing her brother carefully. He was saying those things with a smile. She could clearly see that fake smile that he put it on for her. She could sense his emotions and it was very disturbing. He was barely able to put that smile. He could burst any moment. She could imagine how much he was controlling himself from crying. Narumi had enough of this, she finally decided to confront him. Her head went down and she asked brother. Just tell me one thing. Why do you hate me? What did I do wrong to you? There was so much emotions in those words. It was coming direct from her heart. Naruto was expecting this question. He was having dilemma right now. If he would tell her that he loves her then she would hate him for sure and if he would not tell her then their relationship would become like before but it would be suffocating for him to live with her. Then he made a decision what? I don't hate you Narumi. How could I hate you? You are my sister. I was not speaking to you like before because I was doing training. I thought when I work hard then we would pass the test together. But I clearly failed at that. Sorry. You go home I will be there in few minutes. Naruto said all of this smiling. He really wanted her to go. He could explode any moment now. He didn't wanted her to see that side of him. He always wanted to be a hero, a role model for her. But he realized he failed at that too clearly. When Narumi heard him, she wanted to believe it, but how could she? She could sense emotions from him and it was telling her exact opposite. Also, it was written all over his face that he wanted to be left alone. But she wasn't going without her answers today. Aniki, do you think that low of me? You think I don't know you? You are wrong, I know you thoroughly and thoroughly. Just drop the mask. Tell me the real reason. I will not go today without answers. Just tell me why do you hate me? I will leave you alone after that. Narumi's head was still down. Naruto still replied with a smile, the same thing no, I don't hate you. No you do, just tell me. Now she was looking at him. She was saying those things with teary eyes. No, I don't. I know you do. Your action says that. Just tell me the reason. Naruto started arguing. Naruto had enough of it. Then that word slipped out of his mouth finally. No, it's the opposite. I love you. When Naruto realized what he just said, his palm automatically went on his mouth and covered it. He immediately turned around from her. What are you saying? I don't understand. Narumi got confused when he said that. Until this moment, she always believed that he hated her. But he was saying exact opposite. She was really confused now. Naruto realized, he can't hide anything now. He started preparing himself for permanent separation from her. He was also somewhat glad that now it will be finally over. He turned around and got close to her. Yes, Narumi, you heard it right. I don't hate you. It's exact opposite. I love you. This is why I started avoiding you. I knew it was wrong to love you, but I couldn't control my feelings. I thought when I will be away from you, I will become normal, but that feeling started to deepen more. I started loving you even more. I know I'm a monster to think of you like that. I guess those people are right when they call me monster. Only a monster could love his own sister. Now I also know that you love Sasuke. I'm fine with that. You can be with whoever you want. I promise, I won't come in your way. I will live separately from now on. You don't need me now. You have grown up now. You can take care of yourself. And now you have Sasuke too. I'm sorry, Naruto expressed his feelings completely to her. When he said all of that, he felt like some heavy burden had been lifted from his heart. He was somewhat glad that he could clear things up. Sure, he wanted to be with her, live with her rest of his life. But he loved her enough to let go her. There was silence for 2 minutes in the wooden room. Narumi wasn't speaking anything. Naruto could understand her. She would be shocked, who wouldn't be, when they will know that that person who was living with them was somewhat like a monster. Naruto was waiting for her to say something when he received a punch from Narumi. He fell on the floor. Naruto was prepared for this also. But after that punch something strange happened. Narumi suddenly tackled him. Baka Aniki, why didn't you said it to me before? You should have said that. Why did you hide it from me? I would have given you an answer. Narumi said that while crying. She was crying with heavy tears. Her hand was gripped on Naruto. Now Naruto was confused. He thought, didn't she hear me clearly? Then he realized that he wasn't clear. No, Narumi, you don't understand. It's not a sibling love. He was about to say more, when Narumi's index finger came on his lips. I understand, Aniki. I understand all of it now. I'm sorry for not realizing earlier. You must have been in pain. The guilt of loving me must be killing you. I failed as your sister, if I couldn't even figure out this. I'm sorry. You know, if you would have told me earlier, I would have already told you that I also love you. I know it's not a sibling love that we feel. It's more than that, but I'm glad you feel the same. I don't know when you fell in love with me, but I fall in love with you when I regained my consciousness. Every time you protected me, stood up for me and fought for me from the whole world. I started falling for you more and more. I didn't said to you this because I thought you already know. I thought our bond was so deep that we didn't had to say these things to each other. And don't call yourself monster again. You are not a monster. You are my Aniki, my beloved Aniki. Who's the most kind and handsome man on this planet? Narumi said all of those things while crying and hugging him tightly. It was so tight that normal person would be crushed. But what about Sasuke? I saw him confessing to you. You love him, right? You don't have to force yourself to love me, Narumi. I know you think that it is your duty to make me happy. But you don't have to abandon your first love. I know you don't love me and are saying these things to comfort me. But you don't have to do that. I'm a loser who can't even pass the academy test. Your life would be ruined if you live with me. Sasuke is suited for you. He is a genius like you. You should go for him, not some loser like me. Naruto was sure that she told him all of those things to just please him. When she told him all those things he was somewhat happy but knew it was all fake from her side. What? You believe that? Who told you I love Sasuke? I don't love him. He confessed to me today but I rejected him. I love you, not him. It was you who burned his hand in order to feed me, not Sasuke. You are not a loser. You are my Aniki, who created history today. Who tries until his last breath and don't give up. You are who works really hard even when he don't have talent for it. Nobody comes even close to you. You are the one that they've been fighting for me from the whole world since I regained my consciousness. From the orphanage to our little apartment. You took care of me. Now also, you are thinking about me, not yourself. You put me above everyone else. Even yourself, but what about your happiness, Aniki? Is it just my happiness that matters, not yours? I have realized that you have struggled the most, even more than me. We didn't had anyone but each other. We have been together from the stomach of our mother, we will die together too. We are special. We are not normal. Don't compare ourselves from those normal family. We are unique. You used to say that others' opinion doesn't matter to you, only mine. Well, I also think like that. So don't worry about anyone or anything. If we are happy together then we don't need anyone. They didn't came to give us food when we were starving. We survived on our own. Narumi said all of those things while crying on his shoulder. After hugging of 2 minutes, Narumi parted from him. She looked at the face of Naruto. She immediately interlinked his lips with her. Naruto wasn't expecting that, but after she did that, he also submitted to her and started making out. Narumi was aggressive. It was like she would eat him. After 5 minutes of making out, she stopped. They both look at each other and start kissing again. They were kissing like animals. It was like they were trying to make up the time when they were separated. After they stopped, Narumi went to sit on the lap of Naruto. He also enclasped her tightly. He started soothing each strand of her hair like he used to do before. Narumi, promise me that you will not separate from me. You will be mine. Naruto asked this, looking at the face of Narumi very closely. He could feel her breath. She kissed him again. But I have already promised you, Ni-san. I'm yours and you're alone. Don't you remember our promise? My body, my soul, all of it belongs to you. You also belong to me and me alone. You can love me enough to let go of me, but I don't. If you had chosen another girl besides me, I would have killed her, unhesitantly. That's why I beat Hinata today. Someday, I will beat Sakura also. Wait a minute, I thought you loved one of them. Tell me, why did you declared your love for Sakura and sat besides Hinata? Narumi asked Naruto while she was still in his lap. Naruto smiled hearing her analysis. It was so like Narumi. Well, my beautiful Naru-chan, I did declared my love for Sakura because I thought when I do that, I will eventually start to feel something towards her, and it also helped in maintaining my image as an idiot also. But more I talked to her, more I started to dislike her. In Hina-chan's case, it was different. It was opposite. I didn't love her but she did. Although I rejected her, but we became friends. She started to teach me gentle first, in the process our relationship deepened. Then one day she asked me why I rejected her. I told her the whole truth about loving you. She supported me, you know. She told me, it was not wrong. She was the first and last person that I had told. She is such a reliable person, you won't believe. She also wanted to become friends with you. Naruto cleared all the things to Narumi. Before this incident there wasn't a thing that they didn't share to each other. Maybe, I should apologize to her, Aniki. I mean, she could have manipulated you and told you it was wrong, then you would have been hers, not mine. On the team selection day, I will say sorry to her and try to become friends. Narumi said that happily. She was very happy today. It was the day that she got her first love. Yeah, you should, Naru-chan. She will like it. Wait a sec. Naruto was saying that when he realized something and told her to get up from his lap. She didn't understand it but followed his lead. Narumi was standing and Naruto was sitting. He adjusted his position and bent on his knee, then he asked, well, my beautiful Imoto-chan, today is a special day. You passed your graduation test with creating a total badass jutsu. Your Aniki is very proud of you and things got cleared between us. There should be a celebration, so, would you like to go on a date with me? When Narumi heard him, she started blushing. He was calling her beautiful. She jumped in excitement. Yes, Aniki, I would love to go on a date with most handsome boy on planet. Who has eyes like an ocean? Narumi replied enthusiastically. She was feeling the most special girl on this planet today. He stood up and got close to Narumi and hugged her very tightly. He kissed her shoulder, then he brought up his face close to hers. He was breathing very heavy. He brought his lips on hers slowly and started making out patiently. This kiss wasn't like before. It was not rushed, they did slowly and very passionately. It was like they were exchanging each other's emotions. Naruto retracted his lips and looked at her very intensely. What Aniki? Why did you stop? Narumi asked him, smiling playfully. Naruto's hand got on her cheek and rubbed her whiskers marks where they were sensitive. Some shivers got down her spine. It's just your face look very beautiful in the moonlight, my beautiful Imouto-chan. When the light of moon falls on your face, your beauty multiplies by tenfold. I still can't believe that you accepted me. When I thought of going and planning for our date, I fear that you might go away from me again. You know that I have only you, right, Naru-chan? You know I live for you only, right? It was all coming from the heart of Naruto. How could a boy believe that he was with most beautiful girl in the class who everyone loved? Narumi's cheeks were red now from the blush. She was also not believing it, but it was the truth. She hugged him once more and said, "Go, Aniki, I'll be waiting for you here." She could only say that. Naruto left from there. After 1 hour, Narumi was waiting for Naruto in the tree house. She sensed someone's chakra. It was Naruto's. Naruto entered the house. He came close to her and gestured her to hold his hand. When he did that, Narumi immediately held the hands of Naruto. After walking for 5 minutes, Narumi's hand moved from holding to interlinking. Her hands were interlinked with Naruto and her head was on his shoulder. They were walking. Narumi didn't ask anything about the location. She knew he wanted to keep secret from her. When they were about to reach their destination, Naruto blindfolded Narumi with his hands. She didn't said anything, but she was getting more and more curious, where he was taking her. They reached the spot. "Come on, Oni-chan, let me see. We have reached, right? I'm dying to know the location." Narumi said, very excited. Okay, my Naru, I'm removing my hands now. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Tada! Naruto removed his hands. When Narumi opened her eyes, she saw a beautiful lake. In that lake there was some ducks and swan. They were swimming, but 2 of the swans stood out from the rest. Her sight fell on them. They seemed like a couple. They were smooching through their beaks. They looked cute. It was perfect spot for a romantic date. But surprise wasn't that. In the center of that lake, there was a big tree and the trees were glowing from the fireflies. They were twinkling. It looked most amazing thing in that night. There was millions of fireflies. It was like there was tens of fireflies in each leaf. From afar it looked like some tree with a lots of lights, and the tree's reflection in the lake did their work also. She was busy admiring the beauty of the tree when Naruto grabbed her head and turned to her right side. She saw there was a sheet. In the middle of it there was one short table where they could eat while sitting. But real beauty wasn't that, it was another thing. There was transparent jar around the sheet, and in that jar there was thousands of fireflies. The lights that was coming from the jar was twinkling like it did on the tree. Then there was also many types of flowers around them. She could smell them from this distance. It was very pleasant. The flowers that Naruto put there was her favorite. "So, how do you like my beautiful Imouto? Is it to your liking or I disappointed you?" Naruto asked her, smiling, but she could see he was very nervous. Narumi got close to him and kissed him. "Of course I liked it, Aniki. I have never seen anything more beautiful than this. Beautiful romantic night with a full moon, and under the moon, there is a beautiful lake that as lovely couple and beautiful tree where we will sit and enjoy. There couldn't be any more romantic than this. You did all of this in 1 hour. You proved again why I have fallen for you very badly. You make me fall in love with you more and more. I'm happy to hear that, Naru-chan. My effort is paid off then. Now come, we will talk while eating." Naruto grabbed her hand and led her to the table. They sit down and Naruto opened Narumi's favorite ramen. They were chatting and laughing. Naruto was talking about his training with Hinata and how he perfected some jutsu. Narumi was talking about her training in jutsu. They were having a good time while eating and talking. Naruto's eyes were on Narumi this whole time when they were talking. She was eating ramen when he saw one of the noodles got on her cheeks. He leaned forward and got close to Narumi. She was talking when Naruto was leaning towards her. When his face got close to her, she stopped talking and started blushing. Naruto grabbed the noodles from her cheek and ate it. "It was on your cheek, Naru." Narumi started blushing heavily from his actions. She stood up from her seat and went to sit on Naruto's lap. When she sat there, she also saw the blushing face of Naruto. "Feed me Oni-chan like you did it before," Narumi said that, handing him the bowl of ramen. Naruto remembered the time he used to do that. He started feeding her by his own hands. She was smiling and blushing while eating. Naruto saw the blush and leaned over to her. "You know, my cutie pie, you look very beautiful when you are blushing." Narumi got embarrassed from his compliment and started blushing more. Thank you, Datbane," Narumi said that with her verbal tick. She only used that word when she was very excited. Apparently no one was able to make her excite except her brother. He also had a verbal tick. He also said that when he was excited. After 1 hour of chatting and having fun with each other, they decided to go home. Narumi shunshined both of them at their home. Narumi got close to Naruto and asked him, "You will sleep with me again, right, Ni-chan?" She asked, hoping that he would say yes. "Of course, Narumi-chan, but before that let's take a bath. You go in first, then I will after you," Naruto said that, reassuring her. "No, we will go together like before. You know, still after 1 year, I can't wash my hair properly and I can't even tie them. This is why my hair looks like a mess always, but I didn't cut it because I knew you liked girl with long hair," she said that while blushing. One time when she asked him about what kind of girl he likes, he told her about his hair choice in women. All the things that he said she had follow. All of them like keeping long hair, not doing any makeup, and doing her training. He liked strong women. This was also one of the reasons why she wanted to be a strong ninja. Now Naruto also noticed. He felt dumb for not noticing it earlier. How could he miss that? After all, she was doing that for him, but he also realized he never judged her from her face. He liked her because of her kindness, cuteness, and for her attitude, and most of all because she was his beloved sister. Hi, as you say, my princess," he said that, laughing. She also laughed, and then she went to the bathroom sometimes before him. Naruto entered the bathroom naked, not even putting a towel on him. He saw Narumi was sitting on a stool and cleaning her feet. "Hey Naru, want my help with your hair?" "Of course Aniki, come and clean it," she said that, laughing. He got behind her and started washing her hair. She wasn't kidding when she said that she didn't know how to clean properly. Naruto started shampooing her hair. After 5 minutes of washing her red hair, Naruto realized how beautiful and silky it was. It looked perfect on her. "Now let me wash your body, Naru-chan." Naruto said that and started cleaning her back with the soap. "Oh, I have missed this, Aniki. When you clean me with your hands I feel satisfied," Narumi said that. Naruto just smiled hearing her. When she would be with him, she would act spoiled. He also didn't mind. He knew that there was no one besides him to her. In Naruto's opinion, it added to her cuteness when she would be acting spoiled in front of him. Now it was her front's turn. She turned around and faced him. As soon as she saw him, she started blushing. In just 1 year, many things in his body had changed. He had a proper six-pack and his member had also grown. It was clearly 5 inches long and it was up, not down. Then she realized it was like this because of her naked body. When Narumi turned around and Naruto saw her front, he started blushing. Her body had clearly changed from 1 year before. Her breast was easily D-cup. Naruto was done washing her entire body except her breast. Naruto moved to her breast and grabbed them. Her breast was so smooth that his hand sank on them. He started fondling them tightly and started rubbing them. Narumi started moaning lightly. She was clearly feeling it. "Naru-chan, should I stop? Do you feel uncomfortable or pain with my touch?" Naruto asked her with a concern in his voice. He knew that he shouldn't be doing this. Narumi smiled hearing him. Even now he was worried for her and was controlling his lust for her. "I feel pleasure from your touch, Aniki, not pain. Go ahead, do as you like. Give me more pleasure." When Narumi gave her consent, Naruto immediately kissed her passionately. He was kissing while squeezing her breast. Narumi was moaning from the pleasure. When he rubbed her, she started moaning or loudly from both the pleasure and pain. "Ah, it feels so great, Aniki. Keep doing that." He was kissing, massaging her breast and fingering her too. He stopped and said, "Naru, are you ready?" He asked her permission before invading her. She gave him a nod. Naruto grabbed her with both of his hand. He lifted her and then make her sat in his lap. Both of their bodies were touching each other. Naruto could feel her D-cup breast on his chest while Narumi was feeling Naruto's dick between her ass. They both started making out. Narumi's hand was on the neck of Naruto, while his was on her ass. He was massaging her ass cheeks with both of his palms. Then Naruto started fingering her with his one finger. He started doing that and then he pushed her slowly to the ground. She was on the bathroom floor. He moved his mouth from kissing to licking. He then moved his 3 fingers inside her, his tongue was licking her clitoris. It had become stiff from his touch and her horniness. Ah yes, it feels good, Oni-chan. I love you, I love you. Narumi said that in bliss state. She was moaning very loudly. Naruto was fingering her very intensely. Narumi moaned loudly and grabbed his hair tightly. Both of her thighs squeezed Naruto's head instinctively. Yes, Aniki, something is coming out. Naruto's mouth, drink all of it. I'm sorry, Aniki. You had to drink something dirty. My thighs pressed you on instinct. Sorry. Narumi was a bit embarrassed that her Aniki had to see her in that state. Don't worry, my Naru-chan. It came from you, right? So it's not dirty, he said, smiling at her. He reassured her that it was not to worry about. After doing that, they moved to the bathtub. Naruto entered first, then Narumi. As soon as Narumi entered the bathtub, she sprinkled the water all over Naruto. It was the thing that Narumi did in the bathtub. Naruto thought, I definitely missed this. He was King when another shot of water was thrown at him. Naruto laughed and started playing with her. They were having very much fun. After 5 minutes, both stopped and just relaxed themselves. Naruto was sitting against one end and then Narumi came and leaned to her brother's body. Naruto's hand went on her head and he started massaging her hide. You know, Narumi, exactly 1 year ago in the bathroom when we were sitting like this immersed into each other, I realized that I had fallen for you. It was the most beautiful thing but most painful also. For the first time, I regretted being your brother. I wanted to keep you all to myself. I knew that someday we are gonna be separated, that's why I started avoiding you. I couldn't look into your eyes. I'm sorry, forgive me. Naruto said that, remembering that time. Don't apologize, Ni-san. It's not your fault, it's mine. I should have realized that. You were in so much pain, I couldn't do anything. I hate myself for that. You didn't let me suffer even one time and I did nothing when you needed me. It was my fault. Again, I'm sorry. Narumi said that and hugged her brother naked. She could feel his emotions. It was pleasant now, like it had always been. She guessed it was probably because he didn't wanted her to do anything she didn't want. She smiled and then moved down. Narumi, that's dirty. You don't have to do that. She smiled hearing him and said, but I want to do it, Ni-chan. It will make me happy knowing I made you feel good. Don't worry about anything, just enjoy. Naruto was barely able to keep his voice. He didn't want her to see him like this. She smiled and took this as a challenge. Next, she took the whole thing in her mouth. She started giving him a blowjob. The best part was her tongue. Her tongue was wrapping his dick whenever it was in her mouth. She started doing more intensely. Finally, Naruto said, "Keep doing that, Naru-chan, with your tongue. It feels good." He said that and grabbed her head, then shoved all of his dick inside her mouth. Her eyes went wide and some tears came from her eyes, but it was not of a pain, it was from a state of bliss and pleasure. Some of it started coming out from her mouth, but mostly she drank it. Thank you, Naru, for that, and I'm sorry you had to do that for me. Naruto said that, satisfied. How many times I have to tell you, Aniki, it makes me happy to serve you. Not only you love me, I also love you. I'm not forcing myself to do it. It makes me happy to do something useful for you. Don't ever thank me for anything. She said that, looking away from him and pouting. Naruto smiled hearing her. He grabbed her from behind and pulled her in his embrace and kissed her deeply. It's just, I can't believe, Naru, that you are with me. Naruto said that, laughing. After 5 minutes, both came out and changed into their clothes. Naruto wore nothing but only his underwear. And Narumi wore her panties and a half t-shirt. Naruto went on the bed before Narumi. She was still wearing the t-shirt. Oh, I have missed this, he thought, smiling. Almost 1 year ago he started to sleep separately from her. First, he couldn't sleep without Narumi's warmth. It was like she had become his body part, but after some time he got used to being alone. Narumi came on the bed and snuggled to him. Her head was on his chest while her hand was wrapped around him. "Don't ever leave me again, Aniki. I was lonely without you." She said this while yawning. Naruto just nodded to her and went to sleep while keeping her in his embrace. Next morning, there was someone at the door. They were ringing again and again. Naruto groaned, thinking he finally got accepted by Narumi and someone was disturbing. He wanted to cuddle to her more, but the bell was ringing again and again. He finally decided to get up and check who it was. Narumi was on his chest exactly like he went to sleep. She wasn't up from the bell. He slowly got up from the bed, leaving Narumi behind, and went to the door. Naruto opened the door and saw no one. He got angry, thinking, who LD do such a cruel prank in the morning? Then suddenly an Anbu appeared in front of him. "Hokage-sama has summoned both of you. Report to her in 2 hours. Anbu said that and disappeared from there. Naruto heard him and thought it might be something about him failing in the exam. He closed the door and went to the bathroom, did everything and made breakfast for both of them. Naruto prepared the clothes for Narumi. After that he saw it was only half an hour left to meet the Hokage. Naruto went to wake up his sister. He saw the sleeping face of Narumi. She looked like an angel in her sleep, so peaceful and beautiful. He got on the bed and sat beside Narumi and started to wake her slowly. Narumi mumbled something half asleep. Aniki, 5 minutes more please." Naruto heard her and smiled, remembering the times she used to say that. Naruto lifted her in his arms and embraced her. "We have to go to meet the Hokage today. Naru-chan, I also don't want to disturb your sleep, but we have to go," Naruto said to her and tried to wake her up. "All right, Aniki," she said that and kissed him on the lips. She smiled, seeing Naruto get surprised. After 20 minutes, Narumi was done bathing. She entered the room as soon as Naruto saw her. He couldn't help but admire her beauty. She just looked perfect. She wore the dress he prepared for her. Her hair was disheveled and wet, but it looked perfect on her. Narumi noticed her brother was staring at her. She smiled and asked, "What? Do I look that beautiful to you, Aniki, that you couldn't keep your eye off me?" She said that in a funny tone, but Naruto said to her with a serious face, "Yes, Naru-chan, I just can't believe how you have grown up to be such a beauty. Whenever I try to admire your beauty, I can't find the words to describe it. There is no word in this world which could compliment your beauty." Narumi was looking at him and blushing with his praise. She got close to him and kissed him on the lips. "Well, now this beauty is yours and you're alone," she said that and hid her face in his chest. She only wanted his attention and she was glad that now it was happening. "Now do my hair, Aniki. I wanna look beautiful again like before," she said that in an exciting tone. Naruto smiled and then he got in front of the mirror. Narumi saw this and went to sit on the lap of Naruto. He smiled and started doing her hair. After he was done, she looked it in the mirror. It was perfect. After that they did the breakfast and left for Hokage. Tsunade was waiting for the twins to come. Today was an important day. She was finally gonna tell them the truth. She was brought out of her thought by knocking on the door. She told them to enter. Tsunade was not expecting this. Apparently both twins didn't talk to each other, but now she was seeing them together, and that's too, with holding hands of each other. Naruto entered the room after knocking, but was surprised to see so many people there. Apparently, when he reached the Hokage office, Shizune told him to come to this room. Tsunade was gonna meet here. There was Tsunade, of course, but there was the third Hokage. All the clan heads, many Anbu and many Jonins of Konoha, but a guy with spiky white hair stood out the most because his hair was defying gravity itself. The atmosphere in the room looked tense, so he didn't say anything. "Hey Kakashi, do you have any idea why all the Anbu and Jonin of Konoha is here?" Asuma asked Kakashi from behind. All of them were told just to protect the Hokage, but he didn't get from who were they supposed to protect. "Just stay on your guard. This guy destroyed half of Konoha in just 30 minutes, and that's too when he was only 8. Kakashi warned Asuma about Naruto. "He's strong. We get it, but is there really necessary for all of us to be here?" Asuma didn't believe Kakashi a bit. "Tisk strong. You haven't seen him that day. That's why you are talking like this," Kakashi retorted to Asuma. All of the Jonin around him also were listening. Some of them had witnessed that day and some were at their mission. "It looks like you two finally patch up," Tsunade said, looking at Naruto and Narumi. They didn't say anything, just smiled at each other and gripped their hands more tightly. Well, I didn't call you just for this. I have an important thing to tell you, but before that both of you look into his eyes. Tsunade ordered the twin and gestured one of the Anbu to come forward. One Anbu came forward and then activated his Sharingan. Sharingan started rotating and made some patterns with 3 of the Tomo. Anbu looked at Naruto and said, "Finally the blue meet red again." Naruto couldn't understand what Anbu said, but his mind got flooded with memories. Memories that didn't remember Naruto a bit. 11 years ago, in the hallway of the orphanage, 2 figures were talking to each other. One was an old man and other was a young woman. Yes, Hokage-sama, although the girl Narumi seems fine but the boy is abnormal. The woman answered the Hokage. "Explain yourself." Hokage demanded the answers from the woman. "Hokage-sama, that boy's growth is abnormal. When he was only 6 months old he started walking. At the age of 1, he started speaking some words. And now when he is 2 years old, he speaks fluently. He is able to read and write. When it comes to his height, he looks like a 5-year-old. And don't even talk about his eyes, you know they glow blue in the dark. It's like he has some dojutsu, but if you look from afar, it will look like some normal blue eye, but when you look into them closely, you will see some pattern in his eyes that can be only seen in a dojutsu. On the other hand, his sister Narumi, she is completely normal. She started walking recently. She also speaks some words. Although I'm happy, I am also scared that when I go from here, what will happen to Naruto? As you already know, I will have to go in a year now." She said that looking down. She had started to grow close to the twins. Hiruzen knew about the treat me. NT of the people that gave the twins, that's why he had chosen her. She was one of the students of Kushina. But right now, he was thinking about what she said about Naruto. When he had heard about Naruto's growth, he thought Naruto was a prodigy like his father. But his eyes were scaring him. Hiruzen was sure that both Minato and Kushina didn't had any dojutsu, but how could Naruto have? He also had noticed the eyes of Naruto when he first held him, but that time wasn't blue as now, like she was described. He decided to see them myself. Both started going towards the twins' room. They finally reached. Hiruzen opened the gate and saw Naruto and Narumi. He saw Narumi sleeping in the lap of Naruto. He was holding her closely. He was also singing some lullaby. Hiruzen couldn't hold his laugh seeing Naruto. He started laughing, but he soon stopped himself when Naruto gestured to him to stop, signaling his hand towards Narumi. Hiruzen finally understood his signal apparently. Naruto was telling him to stop making noises because Narumi was sleeping. Naruto laid Narumi to the futon, covered her and kissed her cheek. Naruto exited the room. Both of them followed him and reached outside. "Hey old man, if you have to laugh, why don't you laugh somewhere else? Do you even know how much time it took me to put Narumi-chan to sleep? Don't you know, she is sensitive to sound?" The 2-year-old Naruto scolded the Hokage. Hiruzen couldn't say anything but understood everything he said. He reminded him of Kushina. He had the same attitude as her. "Naruto, do you even know who he is? He is Hiruzen Sarutobi, Hokage of this village. Didn't I teach you some manners?" The lady scolded Naruto. Now Naruto understood who this old man was. He had read about Kage in the books that were given to him by this lady. He regretted saying those things to him. He just hoped that the old man wouldn't punish him. Nobody treated Naruto well except this lady. One day, when she wasn't at the orphanage, the warden punished him for whole day without any reason. Everybody called him a demon. Naruto bowed in front of Hokage and said, "I'm sorry Hokage-sama for my behavior. It won't happen again. Please don't punish me." Naruto apologized to Hiruzen. Hiruzen saw Naruto's legs trembling. He understood that Naruto was scared of him. He didn't want Naruto to be scared of him. He wanted to become a grandfather figure to Naruto. Hiruzen leaned to Naruto, who was still bowing. He lifted his head and said, "It's okay Naruto-kun. I won't punish you for my fault. It was my fault after all, I shouldn't have laughed there," Hiruzen said, looking in the eyes of Naruto. Then he noticed what she was saying was right. His eyes were not blue like Minato. It was much more than that. He almost yelled out beautiful after seeing them. They were about to talk more when they heard a baby cry. Naruto understood it was Narumi. He immediately ran from there at a speed that anyone could barely see. When Hiruzen saw that speed of Naruto, it reminded him of Minato. Both of them also went inside and saw Naruto was trying to make her stop crying. What happened, Narumi-chan? Did someone scare you? Naruto asked Narumi, who was in his lap while Naruto was hugging her. Aniki, I got scared when I didn't see you. Don't leave me alone, Narumi said, sniveling. He was her mother. She acted exactly like any kid would react when they would not see their mother the times they woke up from their slumber. The moment she opened her eyes, she knew only him, not anyone else. I'm here, right, Naru-chan? How could I leave my beloved sister? Don't be scared. I will always be here for you, okay, Narumi-chan? Naruto said to assure Narumi. She was clutching his shirt very tightly. Her tears had stopped flowing. He wiped her tears with the sleeves of his shirt. Now, look who has come to see us, Naruto said to Narumi, pointing towards Hiruzen. He whispered something to Narumi. Naruto and Narumi stood up from there. Narumi was still clutching his shirt. She was behind him. He came forward and Narumi followed him. Sorry, Hokage-sama, but Narumi-chan is shy in front of other people, Naruto said to Hokage, looking at Narumi and holding her hand. Hiruzen smiled and came forward. Hello, Narumi-chan. I'm Hokage of this village, but you and Naruto call me Gigi. Hiruzen said that, hoping she would say something. Narumi came forward, but still her hands were grilled on Naruto's shirt. Hello, Gigi. My name is Narumi Uzumaki. She said that, but still was not looking at him. Hiruzen smiled hearing her. She was definitely like Minato. He was also the same when he had met him for the first time. Well, we will not disturb you more. It was nice talking to you, Naruto-kun, Narumi-chan. Hiruzen said that and left them alone. They were walking through the hallway. You were right. Naruto definitely is special, but I don't understand how. Even Minato wasn't like this. His IQ should be equal to Nara. I'm not certain about his eyes, if it's a dojutsu or not. We will just have to wait and see. Hiruzen said that while thinking. You know, in Naruto, I saw both Minato and Kushina. He has the intelligence of Minato and attitude and looks like Kushina. He really care a lot for Narumi. He is really a smart boy. Hiruzen commented on Naruto after seeing him. He was uncertain about his powers. Time skipped 2 years, twins at the age of 4. Many things had changed for them after the lady left from there. She left the orphanage exactly 5 years ago. After she left, the warden started discriminating against them. All of the Opal in the orphanage called them monsters, red monsters, Kyubi, demon twins, there were many names. They would get only 2 meals a day, one in the morning and one at night, but the meal was also not for 2 people every time. Sometimes they would get 1 person's worth meal, and sometime when luck would not be on their side, they would get only 1 meal a day, while all the children in the orphanage would get proper 3 meals a day. If someone would ask more, then they would get, but not Naruto and Narumi. There were many problems for them. The futon was very old, there was a hole in it. Blankets were also thin, it was not warm enough for them. But that was not a problem for Narumi because Naruto always took care of her. Naruto always lets her eat a full meal. She would never be starved. When they would feel cold, they would snuggle to each other very closely and give each other warmth. They would play with themselves because nobody played with them. Naruto always took care of his beloved Imouto. Naruto opened his eyes as the light shone through the hole-filled curtains of their room. He looked down upon the still resting face of his twin sister Narumi on his chest. He almost yelled out, "Kawaii!" With how she looked, so peaceful and cute. He brought his arm around her again as he drew her back in close. She snuggled into the warmth, and he just lay there waiting for her to awaken. About 10 minutes later, curious purple eyes flew open, flickering around the room. "Good morning, Aniki," she mumbled as she rubbed her eyes with her balled-up hands. Naruto smiled. "Good morning, Naru-chan," he replied happily. After that she moved from his chest and kissed him on the lips. Naruto was surprised by that. "What happened, Naru-chan? Usually, you kiss me on my cheek." Narumi giggled hearing him. "Well, when you taught me to read. I read some books, and in the book they said those who love each other they kiss on the lips to express their love, and I love you the most in the world, Oni-chan." Naruto smiled hearing her explanation. He didn't know which book she was reading as he didn't know anything about kissing on the lips. "Well, We have to get up now Narumi-chan or else we won't get any food. Naruto said laughing. But I want to cuddle you more Aniki. Narumi said that while tightening her grip on Naruto. Naruto laughed hearing her. He didn't say anything just kept laying there. He couldn't refuse her. After that they went to the bathroom and did their thing and when it came to bathing Narumi started to escape from there but Naruto caught her. She didn't like bathing a bit but if she would try to run he would always catch her. Come on Naru it will be over in an instant. Naruto said grabbing her. Aniki. I don't want that please. He didn't listen to her and took her to the bathtub. She didn't resist after that. Naruto started cleaning her hair, it was short. Aniki, do you think my hair is weird? All of the children calls my hair, the color of a demon. They say that my hair is the color of the 9 tails. Narumi asked her brother while he was cleaning her hair and massaging her head also. What? Who said that? Your hair looks beautiful Naru-chan. Your red hair complements your beauty. You know I'm glad that my hair color is like yours because it is so beautiful. They can't understand your hair color because they don't have them. They don't know how kawaii you look with your red hair and these whiskers marks. You are the most beautiful girl in the world my Naru-chan. Don't believe in their words, okay. He said that rubbing her whiskers marks. He turned her face to him and kissed her on the lips and started kissing her. Meanwhile Narumi was just blushing because he called her beautiful. Do you really think I'm beautiful, Aniki? She asked Naruto while her face was resting on his chest. Of course my kawaii Imouto-chan. Have I ever lied to you before? She nodded in negative. You know Narumi-chan, you look more beautiful when you blush. Naruto said that and her whole face got red. Naruto just laughed and started cleaning her hair again while her face was on his chest. Aniki, she called out to him in a questioning manner. He understood her tone. Narumi was about to ask something, hesitating but though. She should just ask him Aniki do you think our parents are dead, or they just left us because everyone calls us the monsters and they also thought we are monsters. When Naruto heard her question, his hand stopped and he thought something then spoke I don't know Naru-chan, what happened? I can't say anything because whenever I asked Gigi about it, he just dodged my question. I think our parents are dead and they were very bad people. That's why everyone hates us. But we don't need them, you don't need them Naru-chan because I'm here. I will give you all the love that they could have given to you. I will be your mom, dad, sister and brother. So, don't worry about anything. I will take care of you. I'm enough for you right Naru-chan or do you need anyone else? Narumi heard him and kissed him again. Of course not Aniki. I don't need anyone. You are the all that I need in my life. Naruto smiled hearing her. He was done cleaning her now. They both got out from the water. Naruto helped her to wear her clothes. She was still not able to do all of that. After that Naruto combed her hair. Looks like you have become beautiful again Narumi-chan. Yuto said after he was done combing her hair. Narumi just smiled and both of them got out of their room. Narumi held the hand of Naruto and went to do breakfast. When they reached there and asked for breakfast, they said it was finished. There was nothing left for them. Naruto started pleading for breakfast for his sister. He could have remained hungry but he couldn't see Narumi hungry. No matter what he said they didn't give him anything. Naruto knew they deliberately didn't cook for them. What will happen now Aniki? Narumi asked her brother looking down. She was really hungry. Naruto saw her and thought I have failed as a brother. He vowed her to protect her from anything but now he couldn't do anything for her. Don't worry Naru-chan. We will get the food. You just wait. Naruto said that and led her to the boundary of the orphanage. There's food outside to this wall Narumi-chan, we just have to climb that tree and go other side. He said low, oaking towards the tree whose one branch was falling outside the boundary of the orphanage. But Ni-chan, how are we gonna climb there? Our feet is small for that. Narumi asked worrying how they were gonna do it. Naruto just smiled and bent to her don't worry Narumi-chan. I know that you can't climb but I can. You just hop on my back. I will climb there, and don't worry about that warden. We have so much time because today is Sunday. Narumi trusted her brother with her life. She didn't hesitate to hop on his back. She knew he was doing for her own good. Naruto gripped his sister. Naruto started climbing the tree and before anyone could see them, he was out of the orphanage. He was going towards the forest. Oni-chan, where are we going? Where will we get the food for us? Narumi asked Naruto, who was carrying her on his back. He was giving her a piggyback ride. Have patience, Narumi-chan. When we reach there you will know. Naruto replied to his impatient sister, smiling. After 10 minutes of walking they reached an area where there were many types of trees and all of them had fruits. You wait here, okay, Narumi-chan. I will climb on the tree and from there I will throw some fruits to you down here. Narumi accepted happily. She was very happy because it was the first time she had seen outside of the orphanage. She was shocked to see this many varieties of fruits. She never had eaten any fruits in her life except for 1 or 2, that's 2 because her brother got her. Naruto climbed really fast on the apple tree. He got the highest peak of the tree where there were many apples. Narumi expected him to pluck the apples out of the tree but he didn't. Instead, he got on the top and started shaking the whole tree with his force. Apples started coming from the tree. Narumi was having very much fun. It was like there was a rain of apples. There was a pile on the ground of the apple. After that Naruto came down and collected the good apples from the pile because some of them had ripped because it had fallen from so much height and some were already rotten. He picked some apples and went to wash them in the river and came back after washing. Where would you like to eat, Naru-chan? Naruto asked, smiling to his excited sister. She couldn't say anything, she was just in an awe after seeing the apple rain. When she heard him, she was out of her thoughts, then suddenly tackled her brother in a hug. She just couldn't contain her excitement. Thank you, Aniki, thank you so much for bringing me here. I haven't seen anything like this before. I love you so much. She was just expressing her excitement to him. If you are impressed by just this, then I'm sure you will like the next surprise for sure. What? There's more. Narumi couldn't believe her brother. What could be more exciting than this? Of course, Narumi-chan. I was planning for all of this for a really long time, you know. Did you really think I would forget our birthday? Narumi couldn't believe him. He didn't forget their birthday. When Naruto didn't greeted her, she thought he didn't remembered. Shish. He also didn't like their birthday because people would be more rude towards them at this day. Oni-chan, you are the best Aniki in the whole world. I love you so much. I can't wait for your next surprise. Narumi said that with teary eyes. Okay, but first let's eat. I'm so hungry from doing all that work. Naruto said that and sat on the green grass. Narumi went and sat on the Naruto's lap. He didn't said anything, just smiled. After eating and talking, for this surprise, I will cover your eyes. Naruto said that and covered her whole eyes with his hand. After walking for another 10 minutes they reached their destination and Naruto removed his hand from her eyes. Narumi rubbed her eyes after keeping close for so long. Then what she saw, couldn't believe her eyes. There was a house on a huge tree. The house was big also and in front of it was written their name. Who built it, Aniki? Is it our house? Narumi asked with a disbelieved eyes. Of course it is, Narumi-chan. It is our very first house made by your own amazing Aniki, Naruto Uzumaki. So how is it? Did you like it? Naruto asked his sister, hoping she would like it. It was after all the hard work of years. Like it? Are you kidding me? I love this, Aniki. I haven't seen anything like this. But Aniki, we live in the orphanage, how are we going to live here? Narumi asked him. Naruto heard her question then got serious. Listen carefully, Narumi. The reason for building this house is not because I just wanted to show off to you. It was because one day when I was wandering through the hallway of the orphanage, I heard the warden talking to someone about us. She was saying that she will throw us out when we will be 6 years old. I had to look out for us. I arranged our housing and food problem. If we are gonna live outside. Naruto explained everything to her. Narumi was dumbfounded, she didn't expected this, then she realized something. She started crying and said, I'm sorry, Aniki, for being a burden to you. It's because of me you have to go through everything. You look out for me so much and I didn't even realize it till now. I'm sorry for being weakness of yours. Now, I have realized that without you I wouldn't have survived even for a day. When I was having fun at the orphanage, you were working hard for us. I'm sorry for being such a bad sister. Narumi was about to say more when Naruto's fingers got on her lips and stopped her from saying more. Naruto embraced her once again. Don't say such things, Naru. You are not a burden to me. You are my asset, not a liability. It's because of you that I am what I am today, and most importantly, you are not my weakness. You are my strength. It's you who motivates me to do the hard work. You think you wouldn't have survived there without me. Well, it's the same for me. You don't even know how much you helped me. It's not just me, it's us. We are everything we have to each other. We have nothing, just us to each other. We have to look out for each other in order to survive in this world. There is not a world for me without you. Naruto said that smiling. He was about to cry but didn't, because he knew that he was the source of power for her. If he would cry in front of her, then how would she survive this cruel world? He vowed to never cry in front of her. Narumi didn't said anything, just listened to his words while hugging him. Naruto realized the mood. Hey Naru-chan, today is our birthday, right? So lighten up your mood. We are just getting started. I have to give you a tour of our first house, right? After 2 hours, Naruto was coming back inside the orphanage. Narumi was tired from all that activity. It was her first time. She was also only 4 years old, so no one could blame her. Naruto was bringing her before, like he had got there. He was giving her a piggyback ride again. At night also they didn't get the dinner because it was their birthday, but Naruto had already prepared for that. He had bring all the apples he could, so there was no problem for food. Naruto was waiting for Narumi to come from the bathroom. It was their sleeping time. Narumi couldn't sleep if Naruto didn't tell her a story. Narumi came out of the bathroom and went to sit on the lap of Naruto. It was their daily routine. She got on his lap and kissed him on the cheek. She snuggled to his chest and Naruto covered themselves with the blanket. He started telling her the story. And then they married to each other and lived happily after. Naruto finished the story and saw Narumi wasn't sleeping yet. Usually she slept during the story, but not today. Before he could ask her, she said, Aniki, when I grow up, I will become your bride, then we will also live happily ever after. Naruto chuckled hearing her and said, okay, Imouto-chan, but today you will have to sleep, then you can marry to me. Time skip 2 years, twins at the age of 6. UNTNOWN location. 2 teenage boys were speaking to each other. Their hair was black, Anbu uniform, and one boy had a tanto on him. There is no other choice, Shisui. I have to do it. One of the boy who didn't have tanto said to his partner, looking down. No, Itachi, there's a way. I have discovered it. If you did what they ordered, then our answers. Troll clan who has formed before Konoha will be destroyed. I will not allow that. First, I thought about using my Manjkyou Sharingan on them, but it will be just a temporary solution because in even after erasing my memories, they will start realizing again that Konoha is discriminating against them. We have to fix the problem at grass level. Think, if we wipe out the strongest clan of Konoha, then Konoha will become weaker than even IWA. It has already suffered enough in the Nine Tails attack. After this, someone will attack Konoha surely. There will be not enough capable shinobi to protect the Konoha. If you really want to save Konoha, then do as I say. Boy named Shisui said to the fellow named Itachi. Then tell me what's on your mind. Itachi asked to Shisui. The problem lies on the both sides, then we have to fix both sides. What I'm talking about is, it isn't just the Uchiha that are wrong, it is Konoha also. For fixing the Konoha, we have to change the Hokage. I mean, don't get me wrong, but Lord Third is getting old now. His decision is widely influenced by elders and Danzo. That should not be the case. It's his experience that is his downfall. He overthinks too much before doing anything, and even if he does, then it is influenced by them. For the Uchiha, we just have to kill some elders and Fugaku-sama. Entire Uchiha clan isn't the problem here. If we do that and give the seat to a Hokage who is powerful and wise at the same time, then she can manage Uchiha clan also. Shisui explained everything to Itachi. Itachi thought about this and said, if you have thought this much, then I expect you also have a candidate in your mind for the position of the Hokage. Shisui smiled hearing his friend. Yes, Tsunade Senju. Think about it, she is the perfect candidate for the position of Hokage. She is the legendary Sannin, best medical kunoichi, can manage the Konoha better than anyone, and most importantly she has Mokuden would release. Itachi thought about it then asked. Are you sure about this, Shisui? 100%. Think even if you massacre the clan, there will be nothing left, but if she accepts our proposal and Understand our situation, then we could save so many innocent lives. We will be hitting two birds with one stone. So do you have a plan for bringing her back? Ichiraku asked Shisui. Yes, and I already have sent my message to her. I'm just waiting for her answer. Shisui explained everything to Itachi. After 5 days. You traitor, you will not run away. An old man said who was wearing baggy clothes had covered his left eye with bandages and seemed like he had a paralyzed hand. In the forest a teenage boy was running from a bunch of shinobis. His left eye were bleeding. I have to go and inform Itachi about this. He said that with bleeding eyes. Apparently when he was returning from AS rank mission he was ambushed by the Danzo who had bring hundreds of root anbu with him. Danzo had snatched his left eye from him. Now he understood it was all along the plan of Danzo to send him on the S rank mission, and when he would be low on chakra, he will eliminate him. He was running for 2 hours now. When Shisui used Susanoo, it consumed a lot of his chakra because he has only one eye. His vision was getting blurred. Finally, he dropped unconscious from running. Looks like this is it for me then. Huh, what? Where am I? I'm in heaven, Shisui said, looking at his body, which was not damaged, and his left eye was also there. He was sure that he had died. Sorry to disappoint you, but you are not in heaven. You are in the Konoha. Shisui heard a female voice and looked at his right. He saw the lady was Tsunade Senju. She started to explain all the things that happened to him. She killed the Danzo and returned his eye again to him. He had been sleeping for 5 whole days. Itachi also assassinated his father and elders. In he process he unlocked his Manjkyū Sharingan. She had taken the seat as Hokage. Danzo was not just running the routes but also was doing an unlawful experiment with Orochimaru. Thank you Tsunade-sama for accepting my proposal. Thanks to you now Uchiha clan and Konoha is saved. Shisui was grateful to Tsunade from bottom of his heart. She just smiled and left. When she got the letter of Shisui and read about Uchiha massacre, she immediately rushed there. The Uchiha were people who established Konoha with Senju. If they got destroyed, then nobody had right to live in Konoha. She couldn't afford to let that happen. They were part of her grandfather's legacy. With Naruto and Narumi, in the dark room of the orphanage a girl was crying in the arms of a malnourished boy. They were none other than Uzumaki twins. They were 6 years now, but Naruto looked like he was of 10 years of age, but his body looked very much malnourished. Aniki, I'm so much hungry, please bring me some food. Narumi requested her only hero, but he also couldn't do something. When Naruto heard his sister again pleading for food, he got angry at himself for not even giving her food. He started self-loathing. I don't have the right to be brother of Narumi, if I can't even give her a food. Naruto started criticizing himself. Warden had gotten very strict over time. First he started giving them only one-time food, and for 5 days, they didn't get any food. They were surviving only on water. He couldn't even get outside of the room. They were not allowed to go outside of their room. Even if he had gotten outside the room, there were no fruits now because every tree had got destroyed in a fight of shinobi. Naruto had enough of it. He left from there in as determined to bring food for his little sister. He went to the area where food distribute. He got over there. Ma'am, please give us some food. My sister is starving. Just give us for only one time. We will not ask anything after that. He started begging for the food for his sister. The lady smirked evilly at Naruto. Seeing him like that satisfied her. She thought demons should just die, but there is no fun in that. If you can't torture them for what they did. Then she made an innocent face and said, Naruto-kun, I also want to give you and your sister food, but all the children protest. They say that if you touch the plate, then it will become impure with your touch and then they can't eat in that plate. I'm sorry. She said that, but smirk was clearly visible on her face. Naruto knew that it was the work of that evil warden. She had deceived all the children about them. She had told all the children that they were the human avatar of 9 tails, that's why everyone started to hate them more. She was doing this to not get in any trouble because in the eye of the Hokage all the children were doing it. Right now problem wasn't that. It was how he could cure the hunger of his sister. Then he had an idea. Ma'am, you told me that you wouldn't give me the food on the plate, right? He asked the lady about it. She just thought, now what is this demon talking about? What will he do now? Naruto extended his hand towards Warden and said, then ma'am, you can give food in my hand. I will feed that to Narumi. Naruto didn't hesitate for a bit. He knew that there was no choice and he couldn't afford to let Narumi suffer by the hands of these people. Warden was amazed at the bravery of this boy. She didn't had any choice but to give food to Naruto. Then she thought this was more satisfying than watching them suffer. He was going to suffer more and this satisfied her. She hated them this much because she had lost her only son in Ninetales' attack. He was only Chunin at that time. He was very excited when he was promoted to Chunin rank. They celebrated together, but now he was gone because of these demons. How could not she torture them? It was her right to do so. She knew that in the disguise of these children Ninetales reside in them. The warden looked at the tiny hands of the boy. She smirked, thinking soon these delicate hands will be burned. She poured the porridge in the tiny hands of Naruto. When she poured the porridge, Naruto felt his skin was melting out of his body. There was so much pain. He wanted to scream but didn't. He knew that when he will scream Narumi will know everything. He suppressed his cry but couldn't suppress his tears. Tears started flowing out of his eyes. His palm was bright red because of the burn. He wiped his tears from his sides and went to Narumi. Narumi was waiting for her brother. He had gone to get her some food. She knew that her Aniki will bring the food for her. If he had gone out there. She heard the door cracking and then saw her brother. He was coming with the food but all the porridge was in his hands. He came close to her. Come Narumi, eat this. I have bring food for you. Naruto said that, suppressing his pain. He was smiling for her. Narumi leaned down to the palm of her brother for eating. When her lips touched the food, her lips got burnt. She screamed, Aniki, it's hot. Sorry Narumi, I didn't realize it was too hot for you. Naruto started blowing air from his mouth. It's edible now, Naru. Eat slowly. Narumi started eating slowly. After 5 minutes she was done eating. But her hunger didn't went from just one palm of the food. Naruto understood this and smiled. He went to get her more food. Again he came with same thing on his hand. He did that 4 times until Narumi was satisfied. Naruto was wrapping bandages on his palm. His hands were shivering. He was barely able to put on the bandage. Tears were flowing from his eyes. He didn't regret it a bit. If he had to do it again for Narumi, he wouldn't hesitate to do it again. She was all the family he had left. When Naruto started taking care of her, he knew she was the blessing that life had given him. She was the reason for him to live in this wicked world. Every time he would see her smiling, he would forget all the bad things that people did to him. She was his hope. She was most gentle thing he had in this cruel world. He still remember the time when she first spoke Aniki. It was the happiest moment of his life. After 5 days, the warden couldn't believe this. Apparently Naruto had started bring his own plate made out of food. She knew that no matter what method she adopts to torture them he will counter all of it. She had enough of this. She went to their room and stormed inside in rage. From the noise Naruto woke up. I have enough of you demons. You are too good for your own. You have brought this upon yourself. I wanted more to torture you but now I will just throw you out. She grabbed the hair of Narumi and Naruto. She started dragging them out of the orphanage. Naruto knew this will come someday. He was expecting it, that's why he had started to keep all of his stuff in one bag. When she was started dragging, Naruto reached out to the bag in the middle of dragging. Narumi was screaming in pain. The warden dragged them to the gate and threw them outside the orphanage. In the middle of air Naruto captured his little sister and when they landed impact came on him not her. She closed the gate and returned to the orphanage. There was no one on the streets. It was 8 p.m. Are you alright Naru-chan? You are not hurt are you? Naruto asked out of concern for his sister. She was screaming in the pain when that witch was dragging her. No Aniki, but where are we going to go now? What we will do now? She asked her brother. He was the one that did everything for her. Don't worry Naru-chan, I will find a way. Naruto saw her. She was very stressed about this. He looked at her smiling and said, look at the bright side Narumi-chan. Now we will live in peace. First we will go to Gigi for help. I'm sure he will help us. Naruto hoped he would help them. He was coming to meet them constantly. Naruto didn't complain about the warden because she had already warned him that if he told Hokage about anything then she would punish Narumi for that. He picked up Narumi on his back and the bag in his hand and started going towards Hokage office. There were many people on the streets. Some were talking to each other in a group. Some were eating from the stalls. Some had come to shop there. You could say that it was very lively. First when Narumi saw so many people on the streets and so many shops and it was so bright. She was amazed and started praising them. She was having a good time. Snow was also falling from the sky. She was really enjoying it from the back. She never saw so many things at one place and so many people. Soon her joy turned to ashes when she heard whispering about them. They were all eyeing them. Their gazes were at them. They were all saying bad things about them. She started to get uncomfortable. She gripped her hands on Naruto. People were staring at them with hateful eyes. People were murmuring to each other. They were calling them demons. Naruto could hear them clearly. Aniki, they are all very mean. They are all saying very bad things about us. We haven't done anything wrong to them. Why do they hate us? Narumi asked from behind to Naruto. Don't listen to them, Narumi. Focus on me. Ignore them. Naruto said that while walking very fast. They finally reached their destination. Naruto put down Narumi. He grabbed the hand of her sister tightly. He didn't wanted to take any risk. He goes towards the gatekeeper. The gatekeeper was staring at them intensely. He hadn't seen any of these children before. He couldn't recognize them. They were wearing rigged and old clothes. The hair was red and had 3 whisker marks on each cheek. The girl looked 6 years old and the boy looked 10 years old. Hello sir, can you let us go inside? We want to meet our Gigi. Naruto asked the guard. He didn't know who he was talking about, so he asked. Who are you? Who is your Gigi? Naruto heard him, then realized how would this man know who he was. My name is Naruto Uzumaki. She is my sister Narumi Uzumaki. Our Gigi is Hokage. When the man heard their name he realized who these children were. He became angry after knowing their identity. He furiously shouted, you demons, get out from here or I will kill you. Don't call the Hokage-sama Gigi. He isn't your Gigi and he doesn't want to meet you. Get out from here. If you ever come back here then I will make sure you regret it. Narumi got scared after hearing him. She clutches to Naruto. Naruto immediately understood that he was not gonna help him and if he stayed there more, he would definitely do something to them. He couldn't afford to risk Narumi. He grabbed the hands of Narumi and ran from there. After reaching a safe location they stopped. What will we do now, Aniki? Narumi asked her brother. Well, I had prepared our tree house for these situations. We will live there for the time being until Gigi comes for us. I'm sure he will not find us at the orphanage. He will look out for us. We will just have to worry about food, but you don't have to worry about anything, Naru-chan, when your Aniki is here. Naruto said that smiling. In reality even he didn't know how he would arrange the food. They didn't have any money with them. They reached the tree house. It was dark because of no light source, but it was visible enough to walk inside due to moonlight. They laid up the futon and prepared themselves for sleep. They knew that from tomorrow they will have to struggle for everything. Naruto got on the futon after changing his clothes. He immediately covered himself with the blanket he had in the bag. Narumi came and snuggled in his warm embrace inside the blanket. I'm sorry, Naru. Today was a very bad day. But don't worry, someday we will live in peace and will have lots of food for us. There will also be a big house for us. When we will become big, I will buy a castle for us. He said that, rubbing the backside of his sister. Narumi was listening to him. She smiled and then she lifted his baggy t-shirt and moved inside. Now their skin was in direct contact. Naruto was just wondering what she was doing. She was in his t-shirt. It's like they were wearing the same t-shirt. You know, Aniki, when you will be with me, I will not need a castle or fancy food. I will just need you. When I have you, how could I admire other things? Narumi hugged him tightly and went to sleep. After 5 months. 2 Anbus were coming home after work. One had a white hair and other one had black hair. They were walking through the road when they heard some ruckus in sideway alleys. They went to check who it was. They got there and saw a mob were beating a kid who had red hair. No, there were 2 kids. One was underneath the other one. She seemed like a girl. The red hair boy was protecting the red hair girl from the mob. He was taking all the beating. After settling on the tree house, Naruto started collecting fruits from the trees but was barely getting any. In the winter season no fruits grew in Konoha. After that he started hunting fish, but when the winter started getting colder through the months, the lake and river started freezing. He wasn't able to hunt animals. So, from the last 5 days, when they didn't have any food, Naruto started stealing from the shops. He was successfully doing this from the last 4 days. But today they had a plan to catch him. When they surrounded him from every corner, he had no choice but to take the beating. Like this he was able to protect his sister. Both Anbu quickly moved to save the kid from the mob. When they got there, they thought of picking one kid by themselves, but the boy didn't let go of the girl. His grip was tight on the girl. They were able to separate them finally. They sunshined themselves somewhere else. When they reached there the boy quickly moved to the girl and embraced her. "Look, mister, I didn't do it on purpose. I promise when I grow up, I will return every penny. Please just leave us. Don't hurt my sister. She didn't do anything. I did everything. If you want to beat us, beat only me." The red-haired boy started pleading in front of them holding his sister. "No, don't beat my Aniki. He isn't a bad person, he is a good person," the red-haired girl said to them. She looked healthy but the boy looked malnutrition. The black-haired Anbu came forward and said, "Look kids, we didn't bring you here to beat you. We have saved you from those people. Now tell us, who are you and why were they beating you? Why aren't you at your home at this hour? Where are your parents?" he asked through the mask. "What, you will not beat us?" the boy asked in surprising tone. White-haired man came forward and said, "No, now answer our questions." Naruto then came forward with his sister and told them their name, how they were thrown out of the orphanage, and then he had no choice but to steal. "Look, I'm sorry, I didn't have any choice but to steal. I promise, I will not do that," Naruto pleaded with them again. When Kakashi heard the name of these children and what they had gone through, he felt guilty for not looking after them and not visiting them even once. He thought they shouldn't suffer like this. They should be declared heroes. His sensei had sacrificed himself to save this village, and this village was treating his legacy like dirt. He couldn't look at the state of his sensei's children. He extended his hands toward the boy, but the boy seemed scared. Then he realized how they could trust him with this mask. He took off his mask hesitant. Itachi tried to stop his hand but he didn't stop. He knew that they are not gonna trust him with that mask. "I will not hurt you, Naruto. I work for the Hokage. I'm going to take you to the Hokage," Kakashi said that, hoping he would trust him. Naruto thought about it. They didn't look bad but he couldn't trust them when he was with Narumi. They could do anything to her and he wouldn't be able to do anything. After thinking and analyzing he understood he didn't have any choice but to trust them. "Do you really work for the Hokage?" Naruto asked them again for confirmation. They nodded in positive and moved their hands to his shoulder. In an instant they were at the door of Tsunade's personal house. They rang the bell. While they were waiting, Naruto was just thinking how they moved from there to here this instant. He couldn't figure it out. The door opened and revealed a woman with blonde hair. When Naruto saw her, he immediately shouted, "Where have you taken us? She isn't the Hokage. Hokage is Gigi. What do you want from us? I already have told you, we didn't steal on purpose." Kakashi realized the situation. Naruto hadn't seen the 5th Hokage. He had only met the 3rd Hokage, but before he could do anything, Tsunade came from inside and punched Naruto in the head. Obviously, she hit him lightly. "Listen brats, I don't know who you are but you have come to my house and disturbed me at this hour. You are even shouting in front of me, when you should be telling why you came here." Tsunade shouted furiously. She was going to sleep when they disturbed her. She didn't like a bit that someone was disturbing her sleep. Kakashi immediately said, "Tsunade-sama, there is a misunderstanding here. Please let us explain." Kakashi started explaining to Tsunade about them, and Itachi moved to the twins and explained to them that Hokage had changed. "So, they are Minato's child, huh? OMG, I have hit them already. I hope they don't start to hate me now. Call sensei here. I want to know why didn't tell me that they were the child of the 4th Hokage." Tsunade instructed Kakashi to call Hiruzen. She was going to demand answers today. Kakas. I left from there to call the 3rd Hokage. Tsunade came forward to talk to them, but before she could say anything the red-haired girl came forward and said, "Hey, nobody hits my Aniki. Even if you are a Hokage. We didn't do anything wrong to you. You are an evil woman and a bad Hokage." When Naruto heard his sister, he immediately shut her mouth. "I'm sorry Hokage-sama for behavior of my sister. She will not do anything like this in future. She doesn't know you." Naruto apologized on behalf of his sister. He couldn't afford to upset her. She was his last hope to find home and food. Tsunade lifted his head and kissed him on his forehead and then hugged him. "No, Naruto-kun, forgive me for hitting you. I shouldn't have jumped to conclusions. I'm sorry." Naruto was dumbfounded. He blushed from her hug. Nobody had hugged him besides his sister. It was a motherly hug. He never felt anything like this before. Before he could talk further, his stomach made noise. He got embarrassed. Tsunade understood the situation. She called Shizune from inside and instructed her to cook for them. They both got inside with Tsunade and were amazed by the size of her house. They hadn't seen any big houses like this before. "So, in the meantime, when sensei is arriving and food is being cooked, why don't we know each other? Let's introduce ourselves. My name is Tsunade Senju. I'm the 5th Hokage of this village." Tsunade introduced herself to them. "My name is Naruto Uzumaki. She is my Imoto Narumi Uzumaki." Naruto introduced himself and his sister. Tsunade moved to Narumi and hugged her also. "You look very cute, Narumi-chan." Narumi also couldn't say anything like Naruto. She was the first person who had shared skin contact with her. Before they could talk further, 3rd Hokage came through the gate. Both of them went to him and hugged him like they used to. "Gigi, I'm sorry Naruto-kun, Narumi-chan, for not coming to you earlier." Hiruzen asked their forgiveness. Tsunade came to him and demanded to know everything about them. He sat on the couch that was near him and told Tsunade everything about them. Kakashi and Itachi were also listening. After hearing the 3rd Hokage, they came to the twins and asked everything. He told them everything, why he couldn't tell Hiruzen about his situation inside the orphanage. How they discriminated against them. He also told them about his scar on his palm, when they noticed it. Basically, he told them everything. They couldn't say anything. All of them thought that they failed the 4th Hokage. Tsunade just cracked the wall in anger after hearing the story. She was surely gonna punish that warden and the guard who didn't let them through in the Hokage office. "Well, today you both will stay at my house. You can go to sleep after eating," Tsunade said to them. Shizune came and informed them about the food. Naruto grabbed the hand of Narumi. He went to sit on the table with Narumi. Shizune brings the food in 2 plates. Naruto took both the plates and he pulled the chair of his sister close to her. All the people looked at him confused. He said, "Narumi-chan still can't eat with her hand. I feed her daily," he explained to them, smiling. All the people in the room just nodded dumbly. They were all thinking just how intelligent was he. He starts to feed Narumi. Both Kakashi and Itachi went to their home. Tsunade also sent the 3rd Hokage to his home. Naruto was done feeding her. He wiped her mouth with his long sleeves. He instructed her to go to the bathroom. When she was out of sight, he went to Tsunade with his plate and said, "Tsunade-sama, could you maybe pack this food?" Tsunade couldn't understand why he was saying to pack the food. She realized then, he was telling her to pack his food for tomorrow. He was going to feed this food tomorrow to his sister. She couldn't say anything but being ashamed of herself and being amazed at Naruto, just how much he was taking care of her. "Listen Naruto-kun, don't worry about food and home from now on. As Hokage of this village, it is my duty to protect you, give you food and shelter. You don't have to worry about anything," Tsunade said to Naruto emotionally. "But, earlier you said only for today you could give us food." Naruto was confused. Tsunade realized she wasn't clear when she said that, "Oh, I didn't mean that, Naruto-kun. What I meant is you will live in my house today, then I will find an apartment for you and your sister." When Naruto heard her, he couldn't control his tears and just tackled her with his hug. "Really, thank you Tsunade-sama for giving us food and shelter. I will not forget your kindness in my entire life. I'm so grateful to you. Only I know the feeling of helplessness when someone relies on you and you can't do anything for them. After today, I will be able to feed Narumi without any problem. I don't have to steal from now on. I'm thanking you from the bottom of my heart. The end. Remember to subscribe and like this video. See you in the next part.